Morning, everybody. Let's just make sure we're kicking it off here. It looks like we're live. How are you guys doing? Mario, Gavin, Bob, Render OG, what's up, brother? Wraith, Chris, BGZ, Daniel. Good morning. Welcome to 2025, guys and gals. We're starting it off right. If you look down at the bottom corner here, you can see that we have Bitcoin above the 50 moving average, or right at it on the daily time frame. So we're getting a heck of a bounce. MicroStrategy up about 4% on the day, and it looks like the 2X fund's about double that. We got extreme fear still, 28. Again, we already hit 21 here recently. We've got the dollar still going up. The dollar is actually up a lot in a short period of time. Let me just pull it up here real quick. No mute, no mute, no mute. Okay, good. Yay. All right. So the dollar, again, breaking out. We got above this rift here, and we're going higher. We could go up to 112. I do want to point out, though, I showed this before in recent posts, and I'll show it again, and I might have to pull up the actual post here. But during the last election year with Trump back in 2016, we saw the same kind of thing. We saw the same kind of thing where the dollar went up a lot. And then what happened with that? The dollar started to roll over after Trump got into office, and his policies weren't policies that were strengthening the dollar. They were policies that really helped weaken it, which helps with international trade, and really it helps a lot of our allies. We have a bunch of posts here. I'll pull them up. That I'll probably scroll down here a little bit, where we're seeing other countries just get utterly crushed by our currency. I've got a lot of charts that I was posting. Right here, you can see the Australian dollar at its lowest levels against the U.S. dollar since the onset of COVID. And then we've got India's rupee that falls to the lowest closing levels against the U.S. dollar ever in history. And it's not just these guys, it's a bunch more. Again, the Brazilian real, the ruble, the Chinese yuan, the Japanese yen, they're all at really, really, crushing levels. So there's an incentive for Trump to actually start to lower the value of the dollar. And I think that's what his policies are going to end up doing. So a lot to talk about today. So again, near market open, we're going to have Tesla delivery numbers. We're also going to see energy-related data along with that. That should be fun. Right now, we're going to talk about economic data. Let's just look here and see what's on the calendar too as well. Let me go back. So U.S. calendar today. Let me just refresh here. Is this it? Let's see. Recent. Okay, this counts. All right, let me see. January 2nd, that's today. So we already have some. Let's look at it. We got the 30-year mortgage rate sitting at 6.97. Previous was 6.75. So this thing ticked up a good notch. But again, that's what's been happening, right? The dollar's been gaining strength, and we've been seeing the 10-year gain strength. Not great, but I do think this is a topping pattern, and I think we're going lower. Let me look over here. So mortgage applications dropped 12.6%. Can you blame them when we went up a quarter point? Mortgage market index 174.90 versus 224. So again, retracing lower. Again, in spring, I think this is just going to get so much better. But this is about the weakest. So if we go to max here, guys, this is about the weakest we've seen the mortgage market since, I don't know, right over here in 1995. This is the weakest levels in the mortgage market index since 1995. Yeah, we didn't even get that low in 96. So we're over here, guys. We're over here. 1995. I don't know. That's a lot of time for people who are counting. That's 30 years. So there's only one direction for the mortgage market to go in a situation like this when we've already basically been in a recession, a deep recession within the mortgage market, and it's up. Mortgage market refinance, again, brutalized, probably lowest levels. Let's see here. Lowest levels for the refi index, probably, yeah, it looks like since the 2000s. So pretty bad too. 25 years, not quite 30, but pretty bad. Now, what else are we getting today? We're getting initial jobless claims. We're getting, so all that stuff. It'll be very interesting, guys, with it's not so much the initial that matters. What's really going to be interesting is continuing jobless claims in the 4-week average. That's the number we want to see, because we want to know our jobs getting, are people getting back into the workforce after a month, of being out, or continuing jobless claims even longer, or are they stuck? Are they stuck and not finding new jobs? So that those will be pivotal. We got global manufacturing PMI and construction spending. along with a bunch of, inventories for different energy commodities. That's pretty much it. We got the Fed balance sheet at 330. That will be interesting, actually, to see whether or not they're still running off their balance sheet. This will be a big one, guys. This is after market close. We want to know whether or not they're still running off the balance sheet. They had, at peak, they had almost $9 trillion on the balance sheet. Now they're down to about 6.9. Are they going to keep running that off and hurting the markets, or are they going to take a pause? My guess is they're going to take a pause because they've ran off this balance sheet at one of the most aggressive rates in history. Honestly, even if you look at December of 2008, where they tried to run it off after the major rout, it was nothing compared to what we've done right now. It was nothing over here too when they started to try and run off the balance sheet here in like 2018-ish. They were pretty aggressive for a while. That was rough on markets too. They quit that shit real quick. So I think that's coming to an end. And Chicken Genius was talking about this, and I reposted it. I think the quantitative tightening is over. And that's going to lead me into this next segue here. So Andres Steno Larson said, a lot of people have asked for my year-end considerations around liquidity. Here we go. This is the wheel of the liquidity cycle, kind of, in regard to what the Fed can do, is what you need to understand to assess where we are in the liquidity cycle. So what he says is we have quantitative easing. We definitely had that during the pandemic. Basically, it's running as long as necessary until inflation becomes a constraint. That's what happened, right? The Fed kept telling you that inflation was transitory until they absolutely couldn't do it anymore. He knew it wasn't transitory. Tapering of QE. So liquidity additions are tapered to smoothen the impact on markets. Basically, they start to slow down, right? They start to slow down on their QE. Then they implement quantitative tightening. So this last time, they kind of started to do some quantitative tightening when the money printer was still going burr. So this doesn't necessarily happen in a perfect circle. It says once the tapering reaches net zero, liquidity withdrawals begin. So we're still kind of doing this, guys. But look, it says QB, quantitative balancing. As liquidity withdrawals hurt markets, the Fed balances the QT via EG and RRP or the TGA. So these are a bunch of different terms. Reverse repo market, and then the Treasury General Account. Think of those. But right now, the Fed is still running off the balance sheet, and that's what they need to fix. And the RRP is pretty dry. So we need to. So this is where I think this next quarter they stop doing quantitative tightening, and I think that's going to be very impactful to markets. And then again, they've already started cutting the rates, so we're kind of in this weird, like not quite in a circle, and doing some processes before others. But again, Chicken Genius says prediction quantitative tightening ends this quarter. That will be huge. If it happens, it'll be huge, guys, because it's a signal that they're not putting downward pressure on all of these different investments across the markets. All right, now I'll try and look at chat in a little bit here. I remember when Chicken Genius sold his Palantir. Yeah, he's made a number of wrong moves, right? Like I sold my Palantir at 20. I made 600K, but people give me shit about that all the time. He also was too negative about Tesla and too positive about Rivian. But just because somebody who's really wrong about a couple of different aspects doesn't mean they're right. They're wrong about other things. I think that's where people struggle. And just because somebody was wrong for a period of time doesn't mean they're not going to be right in the future. So I like Chicken Genius. He's an all right dude. He's really been focused on the AI crypto space, and he's done very well off of it. In his public account, I think he hit 5 million on his portfolio, which was a very large increase. I'm still doing research on this one, guys. Kobayashi Letter is definitely a bear. He was talking about, here's a chart showing the ratio of assets and leveraged along to short funds. Assets in U.S. leveraged ETF reached a record 120 billion. December 2021 was the last time the bull trade was this crowded. And that didn't turn out very well at that time. But somebody said, hey, I think actually this has already been really flushed out and is quite a bit lower. I need confirmation of that. So I'm going to try and find this indicator and see if I can get access to it and see whether or not has it already flushed out. Because if it's already flushed out, why are you posting shit like this? So I'm going to look at that and just make sure that it's a real concern. It might not be. So just take it with a grain of salt for now. Delivery numbers are usually closer to the bell. If anybody sees them, though, definitely jump into chat, throw it out. If you see any posts at all, say something, okay? But we'll be keeping a close eye on those. Now, I did Kobayashi Letter too. Again, I posted one thing that he had, but I also shit on others. So here he is talking about how the U.S. manufacturing sector continues to weaken. Chicago's PMI index tumbled, blah, 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 blah. So again, it's a barometer, right? But then I'm looking at Dallas Fed manufacturing having the best read in 2.5 years. So it's like you got to take some of the good with the bad. Chicago is a sanctuary city. It's probably got a lot of problems associated with recent political decisions that they've had over the last several years under the Biden administration and leaning into the sanctuary city, supporting a bunch of people coming in from another nation, not supporting people that are like veterans, just all these really stupid decisions that I think Chicago has probably been making. And so I don't know if it's a good, and again, I don't know. I don't know if it's a good barometer. I don't know if it's a good barometer of the future. And I just wanted to point out here too, like you could say like, oh, this is the sky is falling, but weigh it against other things like a Dallas Fed manufacturing index that has had its best read in 2.5 years, actually positive, and has been climbing out of this hole for over a year and a half. I don't know. I feel like that means something. So again, you got to take the good with the bad. There's people that will always look for the bad. You don't want to listen to them all the time. They'll lose you tons of money. Let's look here. I think it's in 50 minutes, says Ali Shahabi. Okay, all right, cool. We'll keep it, again, keep an eye out, guys. If it's out, let me know right away. We'll jump into it immediately, okay? We'll get into it. We're going to be covering a lot of stuff today. MSTR up 4.24%. I'm loving MSTR right now, guys. I think people just really underestimate this play and what Michael Saylor is doing. They call it a Ponzi scheme because they're not smart enough to realize what's happening and or haven't put in the research. And that's fine. That's fine. People, I didn't do that either, right? I missed 1,300% in an MSTX or an MSTU in a period of 3 months. 1,300%. Or just MicroStrategy. If you bought that thing and held it, let's just look here. If you bought MicroStrategy and held it, and realize, guys, it's at a local bottom. It's at a local bottom. It could still fill the gap. It's like that. It didn't quite fill it. We'll pull it up right now. So it could still fill the gap. But fuck, I don't care. I don't care about another like couple percent down. I do not give a shit. That's what a lot of people get stuck in. They're like, oh, guys, it's got to fill the gap. It's got to fill the gap. It filled part of the gap. That's really all that matters. The gap now is like that. I don't give a shit about that. I don't give a shit about that at all. But look at the upside with this, guys. Look at the upside. I mean, I've gotten some of it today because it was down here, right? But from where it was down, just to get back to its high a month ago, you almost double your money. You almost double your money. And if Bitcoin just gets to its new all-time high, this thing is going to race like crazy. And then the 2X funds can do 250% off of this, roughly. 250, 220 probably. Upside when this thing gets back to its previous high a month ago. So I don't know. I think it's a good time to own MSTR. I think people are going to figure that out real quick. And let's just go back. Let's look at this thing real quick here, okay? So just, again, this thing ran 430% in a period of a couple of months, right? From down over here at, I guess, August 1st. Not a couple of months. Really, if we wanted to be fair about that amount, we'd have to go to like here, right? September 18th. So what is that? October, November, December, 3.5 months, roughly. 374% returns on MicroStrategy and almost 1,300% on the 2X levered funds. Kind of interesting, right? And what people don't realize is I posted about this under the MSTR section. Like it's done this the entire bull market, guys. The entire fucking bull market, it's had 30 to 50% retracements. It's normal. So if you're going to be in these two leveraged funds, you got to get ready to get wrecked. But I want to point out the returns that the people have just bought this stock and held made. They made 3,900%. 3,900% from January 2023. 2 years, 3,900%. 3,900. So all you naysayers, cool, man. Keep being naysayers. I can understand the vision of what Michael Saylor is doing now. I get it, along with the multi-trillion-dollar bond market that's going to keep buying his convertible bond offerings as long as the premium stays above, one, one even, which right now I think it's at 1.8, and it's probably going to start climbing again. And again, look at this. What people don't realize, so it's accretive every time they buy Bitcoin, right? Every time they dilute and or issue convertible bond offerings for a fraction of the actual holdings that they're putting down as collateral, Um, every time they do that, it's accretive in Bitcoin terms. And Bitcoin's price, if you think you know what that's doing over the next 6 to 9 months, you'd have to be like borderline retarded to call this a Ponzi scheme right now. Now you could get more risk averse against it, especially if it's at a 3x premium to the NAV 6 to 9 months from now. That's totally understandable. You get risk averse to that, you're selling out of it for now and waiting for some kind of retrace. I could get that. But right now, it seems really stupid to be making that argument because you're just going to watch a bunch of people make money and look like a fucking idiot. So anyway, pros got MSTR leaps in the bear. I know I did. I was one of the pros. I just sold out of it too early, right? I sold out of it too early because I didn't quite understand it. I was listening to British Hodl just the other day, and he had the same problem, right? Like he didn't get it. He made a shit ton of money and he sold out. I got 2-year leaps in the bear. I got leaps. I got leaps down here. These are my leaps, guys, right down here. And the 18 and 16 range. I would have loved to have held on to those. I can't imagine the amount of money I would have made. But this is why you need to understand things that you're invested in. I wish I would have understood that Palantir was going to run so hard too. But, shit happens. All you can do is roll. I understand it now, and so I'm going to enjoy the ride. But yeah, so I plan on making a bunch of money off of that. I don't know exactly how much I have right now. I want to say about $1 million. Maybe a little bit less. Maybe 900,000. I don't know. Whatever. It's close enough. All right. Chris Patel's Next is rocking. Cool. I don't know what that is. The United States remained the largest liquefied natural gas supplier to Europe in 2023. I love this. If the Biden administration has done anything right, it has been ramping up this effort to help Europe during the war in Russia. So I like that we're a leading seller to Europe. I think that's a good place for us to be in. It also gives us more leverage. It gives Trump more leverage against Europe. We have a lot of ways to leverage against Europe with tariffs especially. And so it's going to be fun. It's going to be fun to see how all that plays out. All right, first here, I said if we're headed towards an imminent recession, and the reason I posted all these guys is I see YouTube videos all the time. I see people on X all the time that are talking about a recession that's coming, like Kobayashi, right? Like he's one of many. And there's so many of these guys. And the second the market starts to drop, they scream that the world is ending. And I think a lot of people jump on board with that. So I wanted to show this. This is the net percentage of domestic banks tightening standards for commercial and industrial loans to large and middle market firms, okay? So this is basically our banks tightening, okay? And as you'll see, I got this from Into the Cryptoverse. Benjamin Cohen, love him. I'm loving his site. The analytics are fucking top notch. It's really, really great. It's interactive too. Very impressed with what he's built. But I just wanted to show here that, like, again, in the dot-com bubble, look at what happened up to in the dot-com bubble. Lending standards tightened like fucking crazy. And they started to, like right at the beginning of 2000, you could see them starting to tighten. And then as the recession kicked in, they really went up, right? But in 2008, they actually were already pretty high. By the time the recession, about November of 2007 is when the S&P peaked. And if you look over here, these things were already increasing a lot before the stock market. Like the stock market, the recession, like 2008 is right over here, right? So this is when the market started to roll over up here. Look at the tightening that happened. It happened a quarter before the market really started to roll over. And we're just not seeing that. And again, the pandemic was the same thing, like immediate, massive increase. And again, even in 2022 to 2023, when people were starting to get worried about the banking crisis with all these regional banks, you started to see tightening. We're not seeing that. We're seeing it going negative, which means loosening. So again, I don't see it. And also here, delinquency rates across all loans, all commercial banks. Everybody's talking about delinquencies. Oh my God, guys, everybody's going delinquent. The world's coming to an end. It's so bad, so bad. But if we look at the great financial crisis, again, before it occurred, back in November when the S&P was at its peak, we were roughly double what we are right now for delinquencies. And this is delinquency rate on all loans, all commercial banks. All commercial banks. Look at this. We were up over here. We're right here. And everybody's tripping like it's the fucking end of the world. And like Trump didn't become the president, somebody who's going to be a low tax, pro growth, pulling in business from all over the place. You spend $1 billion in the United States, you get expedited approvals. It doesn't matter what it is. That's the kind of shit we're talking about. Again, over here, layoffs and discharges. We should be firing people, right? Shouldn't people be losing their fucking jobs if we're headed towards a recession? So I said here, there's only been one other time between 2000 and 2020 where layoff and discharges within the private sector have been as low as they are right now, right here, this little spot right here. I'm like, how are we headed towards a fucking recession? This thing looks like it's going to drop lower. So again, this is just, and here's the 2008, again, right here, guys. We were sitting up here for layoffs and discharges, which, again, we're not there yet. We're not there yet. So we start to get up here. Maybe I get a little more worried, but we're just not there. And again, there's a ton of other indicators. There's a ton. We already talked about the dollar and it gaining too much strength. Again, up 0.3% on the day today. That's hurting Australia. It's hurting India. It's hurting all of our allies. All right, here's the thing I wanted to show, though, guys. And again, this is a little bit outdated. I better not show that one. It's a little bit outdated because this chart ends on one. Wait, no, it doesn't. Does it have the date on here? It was posted December 27th, replying to Andrea Stino. So this one right here ends probably about mid-December. So we're actually way higher. We're up at like the 108 range. We're like up over here, okay? But look what happened after Trump took office, or even right before. It started to weaken, and then it spiked a little bit again in January, Feb, and then it started to weaken, and the trend was down during his presidency. The trend was down significantly. So again, I'm just saying I believe this kind of same thing can happen. I think there's going to be concerns about tariffs. There's going to be all these things where people are worried that the dollar is going to strengthen. And I think the policies that Trump is going to implement will actually help weaken the dollar, which will help with the pain that is being experienced all across the world. It won't help China. China's fucked. And we'll look at a little bit about that later. But that's what I'm thinking. And then again, bar chart says the U.S. dollar is now the most overvalued in history, according to Bank of America. It says U.S. dollar's divergence from fair value. Note, shows gap between actual values and those predicted by Bank of America's behavioral equilibrium exchange rate model. So this is a proprietary model, but it's saying it's the most overvalued in history since they've been doing it back in 1995 in 30 years. Am I on mute again? Am I on mute again? I'm going to say no. I'm going to say no. So again, I put, if the last real Donald Trump presidency is any indication, we'll see the dollar drop in value. Our taxes are also lowered, and we embrace a pro-growth policy that is pulling businesses back into America. That's my take. Seth Golden, despite the continued large cap indices declining on the final trading day of the year, all cap tier advanced decline lines bounced higher. The reduction in net new lows may also be signaling a bounce in the coming weeks, signaling an end to tax loss selling and rebalancing. Again, that's what we have, guys. We got tax loss selling, rebalancing, and people, again, the rebalancing in January. We could expect some with really big winners, maybe some Palantirs, stuff like that, to have some retrace as well, right? Bitcoin has already retraced a bunch, so I don't know if MicroStrategy is going to be on that tier, but we'll see. Maybe there could be a little bit of pain in the beginning. But again, this is good. So it's just showing a trend. And what he's pointing out here is we're just seeing a trend where, again, we had the depth of the drop is what he's saying, and the advanced decline lines. We got Banana 3 stocks. He's pretty great from a technical aspect. He's just showing low volume of sell of RSI. This is on the SPY, is making divergent higher lows. The volume is the key here. Looks like December low retest on a lower volume could lead to a double bottom, not financial advice. And I agree. We could be seeing a double bottom. We'll find out today. We'll get confirmation today. That's what we're looking for. We do have the RSI with divergence to the upside. We've got the MACD with divergence, and we've got declining volumes. This is very astute. I love the effort that Banana 3 puts in. He's got a lot of people following him for a reason. He also said, I know what everyone wants for New Year's 2025. The rally that's about to occur is major. I still have been working since 2 a.m. I know everyone is worried. That's why I'm still working. This is 5 years of data. This is every correction and bear market of 5 years. Those 5 years saw the COVID lows and the 2022 bear market, every single time we've hit these levels of a washout in the percentage of stocks above their respective 50 day moving average. This is simple moving average. It has marked major bottoms and major rallies. This is the rubber band effect. Yes, the rubber band can always get more stretched, but the more stretched it gets, the more vicious the snapback. This is the extreme of stretched, and just like the most horrible corrections in bear market, and even in a washed out when the Japanese yen carry trade debacle, and every single one for the last half a decade resulted in big snapbacks in the rubber band. Happy New Year's. This is a big deal. And again, he's looking at the S&P percent of stocks above 50-day moving average here, as well as the S&P percent of stocks above 50-day moving average Vanguard total stock market ETFs. And this is probably one of the most important right here is this trend line right here as well. And then he's got the MACD in here too, just showing how oversold we were on those conditions. And so this trend line seems to be indicating that we're going to do well. And again, this actually isn't going back. Yeah, no, it is 5 years. But you can see where this started. The worst of it was in 2022. And it's been getting respectively better and better and better and better on every drop. So I agree with his analysis. I think he's spot on. I think this is the point where we bounce. What is a double bottom? It's where you have, it looks like it's actually a double bottom is also called a W bottom. It looks like a W, right? It looks like a W. Let me see if I can reference this on the S&P. I don't know if he really included it in the screenshot. Did he? Let me see here. No, he didn't. He just showed. Yeah, he didn't really show the double bottom here. Did he have it in his other one? Yeah, no, he did here. Okay. So like this, right? So what he's saying is this will look like a W, and then it'll go up, and that's a double bottom or a W bottom. Usually I call it a double W bottom, and then I call it a double top if it's reversed and we've reached the peak and we're getting ready to roll over and crash. That's what he's referencing. And again, guys, over this longer time frame, we just go up. We could drop down. We can have pain. 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 But we go up. And I still think we're in the melt-up phase, an accelerating pace. I think that 7,000 figure, guys, it's not rocket science, okay? All Tom Lee is doing when he says that 7,000 is he's following the same line I am. He's saying that the S&P can go up, well, not quite 25%. What he's saying is it will go up at least 20% over the next year. But I would argue he's just being conservative because he's not counting all the way out to the end of the year, because Tom is saying that he expects there to be some hiccups mid-year and maybe a lowering in the price. But I mean, if we get to the end of the year and the market's really been rocking, then this is a 28% upside and we're hitting the top of this band. Now, if we hit this band at any point during the year, like let's say we hit it over here and we get that 7,000 and we get it over the course of the next 3 or 4 months, then he's right. I would get the fuck out if we hit this band, because the chance of us breaking, and I won't say get out, but I would reduce exposure, remove any leverage if we hit the 7,000 number earlier than that, because this band has been a strong level of resistance here, and it's probably going to be that way here too, right? This thing goes back to 2009. So this is the mega trend, right? So I doubt we're breaking much above that. If we do, then it becomes really scary, and we're melting up, and the market is going to have a crash. BGZ, James Invest Answers, is always too conservative. He does that deliberately, right? And that's smart. Like, why wouldn't you be conservative? If you're conservative and you constantly outperform, then the only thing people will ever be able to say is James is too conservative, but he's really good at what he does. So that's very smart. You under promise and overperform. I can't hate him for that. All right, let's look over here. When was our next set of economic data coming out? I just don't want to miss anything. And again, guys, let me know. Let me know if we see anything with Tesla deliveries. 7:30. So in about 1 minute, we're gonna have initial jobs related data. So we're gonna switch over to that mode real quick here. I'm gonna make sure that I have all of this pulled up. I might have to kill the sound in some of these. It's dead down there. So we're going to hang out for a second. We're going to look for that initial jobless claims data, and then we're going to go from there. Again, Bitcoin's still looking good. What does Bitcoin look like after our initial jobless claims data takes effect? Is it still good? We'll find out in a second. Let me unmute. All right, let me look at chat. No. It looks like I'm not muted. Okay, great. Yair, or Yair. I love that you put that pronunciation in there. That's awesome. What is a double? Okay, so you were the double bottom. Akash 2000. Is it a good time to start MicroStrategy position now? Yes, I think so. I think we're at the bounce. I think the good time was Friday, or not Friday, Tuesday. I'm so messed up with all this holiday stuff. But yeah, I think the good time was Tuesday. That's why I was buying. But I don't know. It could be a good time now, or we could roll over again one last time, close the rest of that gap, and then go up. This data in about 10 seconds is going to be huge. So let's look at it. Hopefully you guys are all doing good today. Oh, there we go. We're ticking. What's it gonna do? Oh, 1 second. Let me kill that.
The futures as we approach the job.
Gonna kill that real quick. All right, so Bitcoin. Not sure what it's doing, but let's look here. So we got initial jobless claims, 211, lower than previous. Beautiful. Continuing jobless claims, lower. Beautiful. Jobless claim 4-week average, lower. Beautiful. Game on so far today, guys. Game on. So now we have Canadian global manufacturing PMI at 830. We have the U.S. at 845, and we have Mexico at 9. So a really good gauge today, guys, all at once over the next, I guess from 8:30 to 9 in regard to the manufacturing PMI. So this will be fascinating to see. U.S. construction spending at 9 too, and that's pretty much it. Up between now and 9, that's it, guys. And then again, this Fed balance sheet runoff, very important stuff. Let's listen to what our boy Rick Santelli has to say about this data today.
The jobless claims data, you can see still strong. They were up a little bit more actually earlier, standing by at the CME in Chicago. So far, so good, though, for pre-market. Rick Santelli, the numbers, please.
Yep. Yes, these are the first numbers of the year, as you pointed out. Initial jobless claims expected to be in the neighborhood of 221,000, comes in 10,000 light to expectations at 211,000, which makes it 9,000 below a slightly revised last week, which was 220,000. Continuing claims, which, by the way, last week crossed over 1.9 million for the first time since, going back to November of 21?
Oh, my bad. I didn't mean to do that. Back. Sorry, Rick.
Which is a double top on the yield closing basis and has reversed lower. It was the last maturity to give us such a signal. Really do.
Quantum computing is not a threat to Bitcoin. No. Ignore it.
Think that some of the high yields, at least temporarily, maybe for a couple of weeks to maybe even the first quarter, may be in place. I wouldn't look for a big downgrade on yields on long maturities, but I do think the, almost getting to the mid 460s in a 10-year will be the kind of high watermark for a bit as we really try to look at some of the data points and see how much the economy may have lost. If you look towards some of the first fundamental economic releases throughout Europe, we continue to see quite a bit of weakness. Back to you.
Agreed.
Okay, thanks, Rick. We got a clean slate every year at this time. It doesn't last long, though. It's
all right. So yeah, he's got the same opinion. No, quantum computing is not a threat to Bitcoin, not anytime soon. And here's the deal: if it's a threat to Bitcoin, it's a threat to every fucking thing on the earth. It's a threat to the U.S. government. It's a threat to the Chinese government. It's a threat to every banking institution on earth. And those are going to be a lot easier to crack than going after the Bitcoin network. And again, there's already people working on quantum resistance for the Bitcoin network. So no, do not worry about quantum computing. Everybody likes to make it sound like quantum computing is right around the corner. It is not. It is at least 3 to 5 years away. It reminds me of the whole nuclear fusion thing. Fusion. One of those. It reminds me of something where, it's always 5 to 10 years away, right? It's always 5 to 10 years away. We're always right on the cusp of it. Now, don't get me wrong. Once AGI starts to get really good, then maybe they help us figure out quantum computing. But we have plenty of time to correct it. Also, there's a concept known as hard forking, where if the network is attacked, we can literally just take a timestamp of it, stop it where it was attacked, put in quantum resistance code, and then be able to start the network up again. If you don't believe me, look at the Ethereum network. They literally had to backtrack. That's how we had, I want to say Ethereum Cash. That's not right. But the other Ethereum network that people thought was the replacement for Ethereum for a long period of time. So there's been times where they've had to go back and redo it. And that's the great thing about it. It's the great thing about Bitcoin is it's resilient in all layers of attack. Yeah, it reminds me of the Y2K bug. Yes. Fuck that. It's not an issue. I hate hearing about it every fucking cycle. Ethereum Classic. Thank you. I was like tying that with Bitcoin Cash or something. But yeah, that's why we have Ethereum Classic, right? Because Ethereum Classic was, in that case, they're like, nope, we got the network that's going to go ahead. And then we have the one that was before, and we're forking off in different directions because we've decided we're just going ahead with this. So there's a way for the network just to continue on. It's one of the beautiful things about the resilience of the way Bitcoin was designed. So don't worry about it. It's fucking stupid. All right. I said we want people like this in our country. And this is, again, about the H-1B visa thing. I was very happy to hear Trump on multiple posts basically agree with Elon Musk. I'm sorry, all the hard right MAGA people who don't like people of color in this country. I pour one out for you, okay? But if there are brilliant people, high IQ people, wealthy people, people that are the best of the best, and they want to come to America and they love this fucking country, as long as they're not a fucking spy, they should come here and they should get the job if they're the best. And if we want to be the best, we need to get better at educating our kids, and we need to get better at being the best. But just by the numbers alone, we're not going to be the best because we only have like 350 million fucking people. And so some of the best people are going to come from around the world. And this country, the backbone of this country, the reason why the Statue of Liberty exists is because we took in immigrants. They don't just have to be white to take them in, especially if they're the most brilliant minds on the fucking earth. So all these people on the far right that are like, no, Trump won't do that to us. He's going to fucking do it to you because it's the right thing to do. We want America to be prosperous. We want it to have people in it that love it. Let's get rid of the motherfuckers who hate this country and who are running people over in New Orleans and blowing up fucking cyber trucks with ISIS flags. Let's get rid of those motherfuckers, whether it's a psyop or whether or not it's just assholes like that. Let's get rid of them. Let's get them out of this country. But brilliant people with high IQs that can solve problems, like Elon Musk. He's the same guy who got one of these visas. They deserve to be in this country, and that's my final fucking response to that. All right. I think that's it for that front. Let's look at what kind of disaster China is right now. 1,000 people watching and only 110 likes. That's very disappointing, Albert. I think we're going to have to stop the show right here. We're just going to sit here until you guys hit the like button. Just going to sit here. All right, I'm just fucking with you. Let's go. James Thorne. China 10-year yield dropping like a stone. The Irving Fisher debt deflation spiral in real time. And so this is bad, guys, because this showing the bond yields collapsing like they are means that the country is in deflation. If you don't know what this means, here's the simple part of it, okay? It means the country is in deflation. And yields plummet when that happens. And debt in nominal terms just becomes higher and higher and higher. So people that are indebted in China are absolutely fucked right now. And because if you didn't have insurance by investing in Chinese bonds, the people investing in the Chinese bonds in that country that have no other outlet because of capital restrictions, they've invested in Chinese bonds to save their fucking money, right? To save their fucking money. And that's why they're jumping into this like crazy, because their economy is fucking collapsing and they want to save their wealth. And as these yields plummet, they make a bunch of money, okay? So when you look at this, don't be like, oh, dude, everybody loves Chinese bonds. They must be doing great. No, they're in a deflationary debt spiral that's destroying their country. Do not invest in China. And when they have liquidity pumping in the next two to 4 weeks, look at that as an opportunity to stay the fuck away from China and then invest in things like Bitcoin and other investments as they go up in value. Buy people still doing coin joins or whatever they're doing to get their fucking money out of China. Do not invest in China unless you're a moron. If you're a moron, put all your money into China. because it'll turn out really, really great. And again, they're building up their military. It's the largest buildup since 1930s Germany. And Xi, for his New Year's message, wants to let you know that he's going to war with the rest of the world at a time where his economy is about to collapse. So you can expect tens to hundreds of millions of people in China to starve to death because they have 20% of the world's population, roughly, a little bit less than that now. Honestly, it's probably even more low than that because they lie all the time. But they only have 10% of the world's arable land. And they've destroyed fucking most of that with chemicals. Everybody looks at China as this utopia where they show you YouTube videos all the time. They pump out all this bullshit propaganda showing you how beautiful their first-tier cities are. And make it look like China has no problems. China has no poverty. China is so clean. China has amazing technology. China has massive, look at their beautiful drones. Look at how great China is. 99% of that shit is fucking stolen. And they're only showing you the good parts. They're not showing you the other 350, 400 million people, roughly 1/3 of their fucking population that live in massive poverty. And they told you years ago that they eliminated poverty. So you're stupid enough to fucking believe it, okay? And again, I posted this last week, Jeff Lutz saying that 40% of Korean companies are looking to get the fuck out. And that's not just Korea, that's everybody. They're literally 2024 was probably the first year in 30 fucking years where they had outflows of foreign capital that where instead of investing in their country, people got the fuck out and nobody's putting any money back in. So anyway, just wanted to get that out there for people who think that's a great investment. It's literally not. All right, let's keep going. We're going to have Tesla here in a second. We'll go to that. Once we get these delivery numbers, we'll kind of get it. You know what? Maybe I'll go to some of that right now. Fuck it. All right. Let's just dial down the line. I'm excited today, guys. Yeah. New Year's with a thumbs up. Thanks, Seed. Did MicroStrategy close the 220 gap? It closed like half of it, man. That's all I care about. And it could still go lower. I don't give a shit. I bought a bunch last week. I'm very happy with my purchases. I even got some MSTX because I was feeling very confident that we're near the bottom. That was down 86% from the high, especially with the dividend they released. I think the dividend was brilliant, by the way, because it makes it to where it looks like MSTX is a cheaper buy than MSTU. I love that. I love the process of what they did there. I think that was actually really smart. Alexandra Mertz, Tesla, she said, shall we do a shareholder letter to Tesla's board to ask them to take legal action? Enough is enough. Hell yeah. And Elon even posted it yesterday that, hey, maybe we need to start suing people. So Tesla Boomer Papa said, I think Elon Musk should sue Kolodny, Reuters, AP, and all the others in their case for the knowingly wrong presentation they did about the Vegas event. And we're going to talk about the Vegas event. Let's jump down here. Do I have all that booked under here? Do I not? Let me refresh. Make sure I do. I might just have to pull up my regular posts. I think I have it in here. Yeah, so this is crazy, guys. In case you don't know this about what happened in Vegas, somebody blew up a Cybertruck next to a Trump hotel. I think they wanted the bad press. They wanted to kill a bunch of people. I think only the driver died. I don't know, guys. Was he the guy who rented the Turo? Was he the Special Forces Marine? Again, maybe this is even a fucking psyop. This was from this guy was from Colorado Springs that had rented this thing. I don't know what happened here, but look at this. This guy right here, guys. This is a guy right here. This is a guy standing here. He would have died without this being a fucking Cybertruck because this dipshit, when he blew this thing up in front of this Trump hotel, didn't pay attention to the fact that the steel is over twice the thickness, almost 3 times the thickness of a regular truck. If this would have been a regular truck, the 7 injured people would have all fucking died. And the entire front end of this, the glass would have been blown out with projectiles shooting into it. The glass didn't even break on this fucking hotel because this dipshit didn't bother to get an engineering degree or pay attention to the fact that he was driving a fucking Cybertruck. So he incinerated himself. That's all. Look at this. So this guy over here, the only reason he lived is because the top blew out of this thing. The body of this Cybertruck was still in good shape. And how do we know this? I don't know. Just listen to the fucking officers that talked about this incident.
What I also would like you to pay attention to on that video, as you see,
kind of quiet.
It looks like the exterior of that truck is completely intact as it sits there. The fact that this was a Cybertruck really limited the damage that occurred inside of the valet because it had most of the blast go up through the truck and out. In fact, if you look on that video, you'll see that the front glass doors at the Trump hotel were not even broken.
So thank God it was a Cybertruck. And oh, by the way, guys, I don't know if this is a psyop or not, but we know that this guy, again, was like special forces in the military. He actually also was stationed at the same place that that asshole who ran over a bunch of fucking people in New Orleans, who also rented a truck on Turo and had an ISIS flag with him. He was in the military with this guy. So they were probably related. And that other truck had like 3 people in it that were dropping bombs that they wanted to blow up around New Orleans. So the woke ass left people are getting pretty fucking crazy right now. And we need to make sure that Elon Musk is secured at all possible costs. All possible costs. Can we have a live heart rate monitor during the show? It's probably high. I do have high blood pressure. I'm working on it. I've been working out. I've been hanging out with my boy. Well, I can't say hanging out, but I've been using Rob Group's program along with his wife, Trim, and they're amazing, and I love them, and I appreciate them, and I'm trying to do a better job documenting my food intake, but for the first time in a very long time, I've been starting to take care of my health and prioritize it, and I'll get the blood pressure down. Heart rate might be a little high during the shows. But again, guys, thank God this was a fucking Cybertruck, and this person, they might have been special forces, but they were mentally special needs because they didn't know that this thing isn't going to do what you want it to do. And I hope the guy burns slowly. All right, so Randy Kirk, that got dark. Tsunami is coming, according to Elon Musk. Here's the 12 months of waves building up to it. So if you don't know this, Elon Musk said that by the end of 2025, the shorts are going to be bloody. And there's a reason for that. January, we got the Juniper, right? This will be coming out. It looks like they've shut down the lines in Texas, and also they're revamping them in China. I think they're trying to do them all at the same time. They know that they're going to hurt sales if they don't push these both out at the same time. They had that experience last time when they released the Y, and they had done it in China first. I think it was the Y. Maybe it was the refresh and the 3. Whatever. I think they realized that they really got to push these things out at the same time. So that's what's happening. And so you're going to see the Model Y refresh. I think maybe even like orders happening by the end of January, and at least in the U.S. and in China. And so this is going to be fun. I said if the demand is big, this will move the stock above 500. I agree. I think it's going to be huge. February, Tesla passes 500. Megapack Shanghai will begin production, and the ramp will be fast. They're already doing trials right now, guys. They're already doing their trial lines right now. This thing, Megapacks are going to start spewing out of China. This is super exciting. Again, guys, if you see that the Tesla delivery data is out, let me know, okay? It's probably between 8 and 8:30 that it comes out. March, Tesla Pro 600. Model Q unveil, of course. The car will look great and meet all the requirements. The orders will be through the roof. The Megapack factory announcement, maybe East Coast, U.S. formally approves national standards for autonomous ride-hail. Tesla announces first cities that have approved Tesla rollout. Tesla close to 600. I agree. That's pretty much the timeline. He said April, Tesla now heads towards 700. Major Optimus video and factory showing the bot working. We know 2 of them are working autonomously on their own right now. They're just doing their jobs. What will that number be by April? I don't know. Could you have 20, 30 of them just working around factories where you don't have a human being and where these things are getting better and better and better and getting iterated all the time? I believe that. Cybertruck used for a terror attack was 100% intentional. Oh, yeah, totally. It was a message. They were sending a message to Trump and Elon Musk. And the funny part of the message is you build a really good Cybertruck. So that didn't work out the way they wanted it to. The only person that got incinerated, I think, was the driver. Correct me if I'm wrong, guys, but I think it was the asshole who wanted to blow the thing up who got incinerated in his Cybertruck that he rented. So if that's the case, that's just beautiful and poetic. May, 50-foot waves, not yet a tsunami level. Unsupervised announced. Huge PR event of some kind. First licensing deal announced, which was held up until unsupervised announcement. Vehicles speak and are hooked up to Grok for interaction. Stock now moves past step. Again, Grok is going to be talking in your car, guys. You're going to be talking to an AI, and it's going to be Grok. And that'll be Grok 4 by the time that comes around. Maybe 5. And three is going to blow your minds this next month. I don't even think he posted that on here. This month, we're getting 3. That's going to be insane. I already use Grok for everything. June, Robotaxi begins service on limited scale. The business plan is fleshed out, and both the profit estimates for fleet owners of 1,000 or 1,000s and Tesla is clearly shown. I will be buying 3 Cybercabs. I think I've already said this. That'll be I'm going to buy another Juniper for my wife. Come here this next month. And so we'll have a Juniper, we'll have the old Y, we'll have the Cybertruck, and then we'll have orders for 3 Cybercabs. So I should have a network of 6 vehicles that will be able to drive around autonomously and make money. And I don't care if that happens at the end of 2025, 2026. I don't give a shit. But I'm going to make some money off of those and saturate the fucking market so that I can kill every Uber and Lyft driver in this city. So that's what I'm going to be doing. And I don't even give a shit if I make money. I just want to force the adoption of Tesla and autonomous driving. I want to force it. And so I'm going to be a forcing function, whether I make money or not. Fuck it. I'll make the rates so fucking cheap that it'll just destroy the market. I'll crush it in my local area. July, nobody cares, but they should. Semi starts production and FSD installed. The initial production of semis with FSD will have the benefits of the car version, but will not be supervised at first. Multiple miles of testing to get to that point. They'll probably start routes where they have autonomous driving approved for like a 300, 400 mile route. That's what I'm expecting. August, the swell builds. Waiting lists on vehicles grow as factories max out. I'll show you something in a second from Peggy that shows that the inventory for Teslas has fallen through the floor. Now, don't get me wrong, the Ys, again, they closed down the build of these so that they can revamp the factory. So that's helping too. But literally, the inventory for everything is just fucking disintegrating. Do your kids have cyber quads? No, I just got a daughter and she does not have a quad. I don't have enough space in the existing house. If we get the new house that has 6 acres, then that might be fun. I'm afraid of her killing herself, so I'm going to get her a helmet at least in case she breaks anything. It'll be minimized. But yeah, I do want to get her one. And I've got a bunch of credits too for Tesla, so it would be nice. And then again, September, Cybercab production starts and pricing is announced. Orders are opened up. I'll be buying the shit out of that. October, wind to begin to whip. When to begin to whip. Then the calm. Factory announcements. At least one factory or factory extension, maybe multiple. I agree. November, Optimus reveal. This will be very sophisticated reveal of some kind. Again, I think all these things are happening, guys. And then talking about a Tesla stock split. I think 600 to 900 is a bare fucking minimum for 2025. I think 900 is probably the goal. That's a doubling of where we are. It would be destructive to the shorts. And that's what's coming. So I'm very excited about it, guys. All right. If you guys have comments in chat, throw them out. We got through some of my Tesla stuff. Oh, I shouldn't say all of it. Actually, I got more. Let me go back here. That was just Randy's work. Great work, too, by the way, Randy. I got to go back. Got to go back a ways. Susan. Oh, I missed you, lady. You got a new profile pic. I love it. Thank you for the 10 gifted memberships. Love you guys. Love you, Susan. You're probably one of the biggest contributors on here, and you're greatly appreciated. Dalton Brewer. Not only are Teslas the safest vehicles on the planet, but they're also the cheapest to maintain. Buy a Tesla today. It will save you money and maybe even your life. Again, maybe not the life of the guy trying to blow people up outside of the Trump Hotel in Vegas, but it'll save the life of you if somebody's trying to blow you up outside of it. And if you get in a car accident, we'll look at a photo of that in a second with a Beamer. It's pretty funny. But look at this, Tesla, cheapest brand to maintain long term. I have spent, dude, I don't even know. There's no maintenance on the fucking car. Outside of wiper fluid, and if you drive like an asshole like me, you're going to be spending a lot on tires. Even though it does a really good job of balancing them and independently moving them to try and improve traction, if you drive like an asshole, you're going to go through a lot of tires. But look at this. You could own a Land Rover or you could own a Tesla. Easy decision. Cybertruck all the way. All right, let's keep going. And again, I made fun of this. This is just fucking hilarious to me. But here's Hyundai giving you a digital light show that only costs you $3.40 a month. If you want this special feature on this really ugly looking Hyundai Palisade, Hyundai was doing so good. Now they're just a dead car company. Troy Tesla showing, he said 9 a.m. Eastern, so that is 8 a.m. So we got about 6 minutes, guys, and we should love you too, Susan. Love you too. Kumar says, Jesse, we will go to 900. I think so, man. So again, we got about 6 minutes, guys. We'll get those numbers. And again, here's just Troy Teslaike's numbers and what he believes we're going to see. Let me scroll down here, see if there's anything else. Oh, yeah, right here. Check this out. So speaking of awesome Teslas, here is a Yukon sitting on top of a Tesla. Now, normally in a car accident, if you hit the car in front of you, you would die. Oh, Susan, you're a sweetie. You didn't have to do that. Thank you. I hope it's your mom, right? I hope she's doing better. Let us know if you want. But if you look at this Model Y. The windows aren't even cracked. Did you just do that twice? Susan, you're crazy. You could stop. Seriously. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. But look at this. Any other car, you could die with this, right? But look at this. Tyler says, will decay over a 1 year destroy the price too much? Thinking of TSLL. Yes, you're going to lose theta decay. So theta decay might make it to where you make just as much as if you own the stock, but you have more risk if for some reason something bad was going to happen. So I don't know. TSLL is like if you think we're really going to pop. Like if we get to really oversold conditions on Tesla, and again, we had a pretty decent retrace. I don't know exactly what it was. Let's look real quick here, and then we'll go back to what I was doing. And we got about, again, 4.5 minutes until Tesla's numbers. So I do believe this could be a bottom on Tesla over the short term. I really do. If you look, if you look, we're basically right at it. And we already dropped, what did we drop? I think my line's a little off. That's why it's not showing the immediate line of support, but we dropped 17%. So it could be a good thing now to get into TSLL, and again, not financial advice, and then ride it up to the new alt or back up to the high again. That might be an okay thing to do, but I wouldn't sit on it too long. And let me just move this real quick because this is off. It needs to go just a little bit higher. Let's see, do I have the thing? Whatever, I'll fix it later. Albert, I still cannot imagine how Tesla will compete with Hyundai's flickering lights innovation. Mom is declining. Keep the prayers coming. We will. I'm sorry to hear that. I know, again, I just wish Optimus was around already for people like you to help take care of your mom. In the future, it's going to get better for people. And that's something to definitely invest in. But we're sending all the prayers to you. We love you, sweetie. All right, let's go back here. So again, just look at this, right? Look at this car, right? This thing had a Yukon on top of it, and it's okay. Like the people were okay. That says a lot. It's a huge testament to the vehicle. So Wall Street estimates also have deliveries at 506,763. This also isn't paying attention to energy, which is going to be coming out too. So 2.5 minutes, we'll see that. Elon Musk said, compared to making cars fully autonomous, making planes fully autonomous is trivial. So you know that's coming. I want to remind you of the ecosystem that Tesla has developed. They are not just a car company. This is a lot more than cars, guys. This is a lot more than cars. There's the tsunami coming. Again, we already went over that one. Here's Tesla, number one news app in 140 countries. Over 1 billion active users in a month. Insane numbers. 3x what it was when he bought it. Do you guys remember when everybody said that Tesla was going to fail? Does anybody remember that? Or I'm sorry, Twitter was going to fail when they transitioned over to X and Elon bought them out. It hasn't happened, right? The media loved Elon Musk when he was a Democrat, but now he's a supervillain. They hate him because X is giving a voice to the people and they can no longer control the narrative. I agree with that 100%. How Elon Musk became a supervillain. How is he a supervillain? Fuck these people. Fuck Watson. Fuck all these guys. Sue the shit out of them. Sue them into oblivion. Make them go away. Again, 1 billion active users. Highest ever. 3x what it was before. Let's look at this cute little BMW, guys. Ouch. Cybertruck? Flesh wound. BMW, missing an arm. I think that's the radiator juice in the BMW sitting underneath it here. Didn't do very well. Oh, wait. Crumbles zones are safety features in vehicles that absorb impact force, increasing the time over which, without them, a crash can transfer. Yeah, no shit. But it's the whole point here. So somebody community noted this, but the whole point is that this car got utterly fucking destroyed and the Cybertruck doesn't look that bad. It has crumple zones too. So still, it kicked ass. All right. And again, insured numbers in China actually ended up doing really well. I don't know if this showed that at the end of the year, but they did really well. Probably record-breaking numbers. Starlink. SpaceX has announced that Starlink now has over 4.6 million customers, up from 4 million in September. They gained 600,000 fucking customers from September to now. This is going to be insane. Elon is going to be a multi-trillionaire in the next few years. He will be. This is Brian Wang. I kind of agree with his prediction. I mean, he's probably more bullish than I am, but he says 1,000 to 1,500 by 2025. I'd be happy with 900. I'm not going to lie. That's a lot of it. There's more in here, but there's more. But let's just get ready for the numbers. Let's look. Let's see if we got any Tesla delivery numbers. I might try and pull up their site. See what we got. I just hate... all right. I still cannot imagine how Tesla will compete with Hyundai's fleet. Yeah. Mahindra says, I just hate the U.S. media is so much now, super biased. They never said the truck was a Ford truck. And yeah, exactly right. It's just blatant bias. Sidecar guy, Susan, peace and comfort and love. My dad could have lived to 150 years old and it still would have been too soon. Yeah, it's always too soon, man. Susan Yu, mom suffering for 6+ years. I decided to be her caregiver at home. That's such a long time. You are a fucking saint. People don't realize how hard that really is. I'm gonna pull up the audio here on here just in case they
as we get ready to start the trading year, as we say, and as you can
Tesla's
see,
up 0.16 in pre-market. I don't know if the numbers are out.
Open. And that's where our roadmap begins this morning. Markets are in rally mode to start the new year of trading. This after stocks did finish what is...
All right. I don't know if we have anything yet. If you guys have a link, let me know. I'm just going to do Tesla deliveries. See what we get here. Waiting on Tesla Q4 deliveries. I'm going to do latest. 495, 570 versus 512,000. I mean, everybody's got a different number. I don't know if that's the real one. Let me see if I can get it here. Analysts. Okay, I'm going to try and pull up, make sure we get the actual Tesla deliveries. Oh, no, that's different. If you guys get a link, let me know. Yeah, it's red. It's down 2%, so that might have been right. Let me see here. Tesla Investor Relations. I'm pulling it up now. All right, I'm just waiting for I'm going to pull this over to the screen here. I'm trying to see if there's a better press release. Q4, there we go. Boom, I got it. Let me take a screenshot. Oh, that looks like shit. Let me do this. There we go. So it's down because it's below estimates. That the drag on this, guys, is totally China. All right, I'm going to put this in there. I am not worried about this number at all. I think it's going to be short-lived. It's down 3.7%. Whatever. I'm glad I'm not in a bunch of leveraged long calls right now. I'll tell you that. I don't mind a 3.5% drop, but I'm glad I'm not in leveraged longs. Let me see if they have any other. So they got the numbers. I don't remember if they have a better visual breakdown, but let's just read it here. Let's just read it. So it says, Austin, Texas, in the fourth quarter, we produced approximately 495,000 vehicles and delivered 484. In 2023, vehicle deliveries grew 38% year over year to 1.8 million, while production grew 35% year over year to 1.85 million. Thank you to all of our participants, employees, and shareholders who helped us achieve a great goal. What? This is the wrong year. Fuck. Delete. delete. Where is the right fucking data? Why don't I have the right one? This says, oh no, January 2024. I got the wrong fucking shit. 1 second, guys. Going back. There we go. Ah, I hate that shit. All right, there we go. Got the right one. Got the right one. There we go. That's better. All right. Not good. All right, there we go. All right. Now we got the right one. Let's read the right one. In fourth quarter, we produced approximately 459,000 vehicles, delivered over 495,000 vehicles, and deployed. See, part of this, guys, so this is getting a hit right away, but it's bullshit because they closed down the Model Y production so that they can do the revamp. So the delivered vehicles was still 495, which is a good number, and the produced was literally a limitation of closing down lines to get ready for Juniper. That's my take. They deployed 11 gigawatt hours of energy storage products, a record for both deliveries and deployments. Ooh, I want to see that. Let's see. Do we have more? Let me go back to the investor relations page and see if we have a better breakdown. Yeah, that's an interesting number. I don't have that on the page. Let me see if somebody's updated a chart here for deployments. Let me go here. Actually, Tesla Energy latest. All right, so breaking. I want to see a chart. Does anybody have a chart yet? What was the... Oh, I want to see. I know there's a Tesla delivery number. I feel like I just fucking posted it. Ah, right here. Okay, cool. There we go. That's the new one. So 11 gigawatts. Sweet, man. And this is without the new Megapack factory being opened up, with them just working on testing the production line. So this is a really great energy number. I would expect energy margins to increase even more. And again, the big thing in this quarter, guys, it's not about the deliveries. This is fucking stupid. None of this matters. Tesla stock, by the way, guys, let me just pull it up over here. Only down 2.7% right now as people realize that this isn't the area of focus. Energy is the area of focus, and FSD ramp, so margins are going to increase significantly, I believe, this quarter, because people are going to start to appreciate what FSD 13 can do, and that will only continue. Look at this. So we had a big drop, right? We broke underneath the support. So if you were going to buy Tesla, now is the time to do it. Now is the time to do it. This is the time to do it, guys. This is easy money right now. It's only down 2.23 right now, guys. This is the time to buy. This is beautiful. We got all the way down to 380. We washed that out real good. Broke down underneath the support zone, and I should actually probably recalibrate this a little bit. Let me move it to the big screen. Because I can already see how... I don't even know how I had this drawn. My 4 hour is way off on this, but we got the number now, so let's fix it. All right, let's take this off. We're going to redraw this because this is going to change dramatically. Actually, you know what? We'll just redraw it like this. Let's redraw it like this. This is more accurate. So it looks like a downward channel, but I don't think it's going to last. This is going to fucking go up like crazy. This is a no-brainer right now, guys. In my opinion, this is a no-brainer. You buy here. You buy here. This is nothing. At the very least for a bounce up to the 420 range and the previous all-time high. But I'm loving it. We'll see how it does. It's down 2.5%. Let's see. You want to hear? Let's listen to CNB bullshit. Let's listen to CNBC bullshit and or BS and see what they have to say. I very interested to see what the spin is. Is it positive or is it negative? I want to see. Wow, lots of talk about this. All right.
So I see the stock trending down a bit.
They're trending down because you have the first annual drop in deliveries ever for Tesla.
That's their headline.
We'll talk about that in a little bit. In the fourth quarter,
misguided.
These deliveries are shy of expectations. For the quarter, the company delivered 495,570 vehicles. The street was expecting deliveries of 504,770, and they needed to deliver at least 515,000 to have full year.
I'll pause this because it's just stupid bullshit. But Energy did great. So their energy division, the energy packs, the huge mega packs that they have, again, and they're getting ready to go production, full production here this quarter in China for these two, which is going to be insane. But they got 11 gigawatt hours, I think, if I'm reading this correctly. 11 gigawatt hours, 11,000 megawatt hours in Q4 of 2024. And so this trend is just exploding. And this is before the Megapack factory opens up in China. So this is all bullish as fuck to me. I'm bullish. Energy is great, and the miss was pretty much nothing. It's nothing. It's nothing. They had to shut down production for the Model Y so that they can refresh the product line. This is a nothing burger. This is a nothing burger whatsoever. $1.5 trillion Morgan Stanley to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading. Yes, that's going to be sweet. I'm going to post that real quick. Headlines only focusing on the miss. Yeah, miss and Cybertruck explosion. That's all they want to do, right? That's all that matters, guys, is that a Cybertruck didn't kill a bunch of people because it was so well built, and they missed sales, or they missed sales and delivery numbers because partially people just couldn't get them. So, and look at this, we're getting back above. If you guys look under the main screen here, let me see if it's actually showing. Yeah, okay, it looks a little weird because it's in the 4 hour. Look at this, we're already getting back near the fib. If we get up to about 397 or whatever, then it's just game on again. This is great. You want to see this because you get a nice washout and you get a wick up and you got a support zone, and then people start to look at what's next. What's next? This last quarter, Tesla blew away people with margins. They blew them away because the take rate on FSD was increasing a lot. That was before version 13. Version 13 is fucking amazing and transformational. And again, with Energy, if you look back with Energy, they were like, whoa, the margins are really starting to come in. This is amazing. This is actually a different story than we thought. Maybe this isn't just a car company. And that's only going to amplify this next quarter. So I'm probably going to buy this morning. I'm going to buy Leaps. I'm going to buy my Leaps. I'm going to buy my June 2026s. If we stay down in the negative 3% or lower range, I'm buying this. Don't be a fool. Don't listen to mainstream media. They're worthless.
Deliveries top what they were in 2023. Obviously, that is not going to happen. For the year, Tesla deliveries come in at 1.789 million vehicles. Remember, in 23, they...
Dude, their Model Y is probably the best-selling vehicle on fucking Earth this last year. So I'm sorry. Once Juniper's up and running in January, next quarter is going to be balls to the walls. I hope Tesla stock keeps dropping. Drop, motherfucker. Drop down to 350. Please to God. I will start changing my stock and converting it back over to Leaps again. Drop. I encourage you to. I hope every fucking moron, I hope every short out there, guys, I hope you guys are just licking your chops and super stoked to see this happening. And I hope you think that you're going to make a fortune and you put everything you have into it. I would love it. I would love it. I will take this bet again. I was not expecting to get cheap Tesla shares. Yes, they're out. We already covered it. Here, we'll let these morons talk about it too. Essentially, I think it's great because they had their Model Y line production line shut down in Giga Texas. They also had it shut down in China so that they can revamp the line to push out the Juniper this month. So I'm not worried about this at all. I'm not worried about this at all. Jesse, can you explain why you're buying the same Leaps? People keep asking me that, and I don't know why. They're in the money, but they're giving me a 2x the underlying, and I don't want to go out a lot further. I don't want to take on additional risk, but I do want to use the leverage to be able to acquire more Tesla. Again, I don't know why. Maybe people are just really used to taking on a ton of risk. Maybe that's, I hope I haven't created that, but it's okay to just get 2x Tesla. That's okay. It's okay to have calculated risk. And again, I have one contract right now, but I'm going to add a bunch to that probably today. I'll probably add at least 6 figures to it. at least 100,000 in the contract today, because I love this number and I'm very excited about it. But if people want to give me cheap Tesla, I'm going to go for it. But that's why. I mean, you don't need, again, I don't want to create more risk. I do have concerns for this year. I lowered my leverage by $2.5 million, 2.3, 2.5, something like that, right? And so I'm okay with just getting 2x if this thing and outperforming Tesla by 2x. Because again, if it goes up, guys, it goes up 25% roughly to get where it was recently, right? For the high, maybe more than that now because of this drop. Let's just do the math. So right from where we're at, almost 26%, about 25% that it's going to go up just to get to its previous high. I make 50% on that for every option that I own, right? So that's a nice way for me to get a multiplier to the upside and pocket a little bit of money. And I like pocketing money, but I also don't want to take on a shit ton of risk. So I'm going to be conservative. Because again, if we go to war with China or something weird happens, I don't want to be balls deep in leverage. Starting to retrace back up. Not really. It's 391. It retraced up and was down only like 2 to 2.5%. And so now it's starting to meander a little bit. I actually hope it stays here. Again, I want to get myself some options. So the more the merrier, guys. I want to get like 100,000 in options today. Anyway, hopefully that answers the question. Let's listen to these yahoos super quick here. I want to go back and listen to their bullshit spin on Tesla. I fucking hate these people. Let's listen to what dipshit Kramer has to say today.
Aren't in the running, but what happened?
I want to go back a little bit more.
Models are the key, and we've said this time and again.
I just want to see what the spin is. This guy's supposed to be the expert.
Company's doing, and then what's Tesla doing?
Right. Of course, as you know better than anyone, I mean, Musk had said, if you want to own my stock, it's not about how many cars I sell, right? It's about full self-driving, robo-taxi, and robotics, is what he has been saying.
100%. 100%. It's all autonomous vehicle technology, the robo-taxi, the development of that vehicle as they start to roll that out. What does the fleet look like? What is the take rate when they actually start doing that? When do they start doing that, David? They've indicated 2025 is going to be a huge year for that. Let's be clear here. Waymo is already out with autonomous drive vehicles in a number of markets
Fucking moron.
around the country. Not huge numbers, but it's growing.
Hey guys, Waymo's so close. It costs $155,000 for each Jaguar I-Pace and then all the LiDAR they have on it. And if you listen to experts like, what's his name? What is his name? Gerber Kawasaki. If you listen to him, you'll understand that they need LiDAR in the future, and this is really the tech. Even though Tesla can sell you with incentive a $30,000 Model Y that has everything you need and already does a better job than a Waymo vehicle that needs high definition mapping and costs 5 times as much. Waymo's out there, guys. They're the future. You just can't go anywhere that doesn't have a high definition map, and you can't own it yourself. And it's not as good, but it's totally the future, and that's competition, guys.
And Tesla's not even out in the market yet. So that's going to be
These people are so fucking stupid. Can you imagine what a deficit? It's down almost 4% on the day, guys. That's awesome. Can you imagine what a deficit investors are at if they think this guy's a fucking expert?
primary focus in 25, in addition to the traditional business.
Yes, they also remotely control their cars. And we don't even know how many people they have that do it. And don't get me wrong, Tesla will probably do that in the beginning too. But I'm imagining their interventions will be a fraction of what Waymo's is. Again, Waymo is a fucking train wreck. Waymo is a fucking train wreck. And the fact that they're even saying this is just astonishing to me. And people are investing right now based upon the input. This stock is down almost 4% this morning. It's insane. I'm going to buy the shit out of that.
The EV business where lower priced models are the key. And we've said this time and again, guys, when it comes to electric vehicles, you've got to get that down
Earnings
lower
on the 29th?
than where they are right now. Even the Model 3 and the Model Y. You've got to go lower in order to entice buyers.
Phil, thank you. Phil LeBeau with those numbers from Tesla. As you see, the stock is off about 3%. After, of course, Jim, a great run.
I didn't see the Waymo video, man, Mahindra, where the Waymo was spinning around and around and around. My guy got late for his flight. That is funny. No, I didn't see that, but I did see the one where it ran into one of those autonomous little fridges that was bringing food to people, and the Waymo hit it. And then I saw another one where the Tesla Model 3 or Y using FSD version 13 stopped for it and didn't hit it. So Waymo's the leader. It'll just run you fucking over.
Particularly after the election of Donald Trump.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
right back.
exactly.
I remember
they're doing that both in Giga Texas and in China. They've literally shut down production lines on their best-selling vehicle in order to be able to do the revamp to the Juniper, which is going to definitely be the best-selling vehicle in 2025. So it's like it's an absolute nothing burger. Inventories, guys. I want to, before we listen to the rest of these morons, I want to go back a little bit here because there's I think there's one from Peggy. Let me just see. You know what? I'll just look it up. Maybe that's a better way to do it. Let me do like Curious Peggy. Oh, no, I didn't want to do that. Curious Peggy. He had one with inventories. Let me just see. I have the inventory tracker. I just don't know where it fucking is. Let me just look it up. Tesla Tesla inventory tracker. And so look at this. This is the deficit that Tesla was at, okay? I want you to be clear at the deficit that Tesla was at because of this, right? Because of all their lines being shut down and everything else. What is this? This is not a good one. Or it's broken. Inventory. Oh, this is actual, like, you could buy a Tesla. That's not what I'm looking for. Where is it? Tesla info. Aggregated. Okay, here's the counts. Okay. This is the good stuff. Oh, thanks. Thank you, MKBG. All right, so let's look here. We should have a good visual. Yeah, so look at this, guys. Look at this. Look at what happened with inventories. Let me just bring this out. Look at what happened with inventories here, guys. Not just the Model Y. And again, they shut down production, right? They shut down production. This is about the middle of December. They shut down production, so inventory just drained really bad on the Y. But it's not just the Y. Look at this. The 3 dropping. The X dropping. The S dropping. The Cybertruck, I wish they had on here. But those are still just selling like hotcakes, especially with, did you know the Cybertruck is actually eligible for the $7,500 tax credit now? How fucking insane is that? Do I get that from already buying it? I don't know. Anyway, probably not. But this is just amazing. This is amazing. And so the inventories have plummeted to some of the lowest levels we've seen since the end of 2023. So in a year. And the demand is definitely there. The demand is there. They just didn't have them. Nibbling on TSLL here. I'd buy the shit out of it, but that's not financial advice. Down 4.27%, guys. We're overshooting to the downside, which means in 7 minutes here, I'm going to have to just pause for a second to buy some Tesla leaves. Because what are they going to be down? 8, 9%? Oh, that's beautiful. Beautiful. Drop like a rock. Super excited. Why the 330 June? Everybody asks me that. It's just the ones I already own. And it's a quick, easy 2x of the underlying. So if I buy that now, it's the equivalent of it dropping 9% today. It's the equivalent of it if you do the 2x. So down here at the bottom, I've got this thing pulled up. You know, I'll pull this to the top. So the option is doing roughly a 2x the underlying, right? So I'm buying it because all I want is a 2x multiplier to the underlying. I don't want 3x right now. I don't want to take on additional risk. But 20% downside. Because again, if we go to war with China, the options for Tesla will probably look like shit over the short term. And I don't think that's happening right away, but I don't know. I'm not an all-seeing God. I don't know what's going to happen in the world. There's crazy shit that can happen at any point in time. Can I pull this over? Sorry, one sec. I got to move this screen a little bit because otherwise I can't get my little bar. Oh, nope, not quite that much. That's too much. Let me see here. Let me get back on this. And then move this over here. There we go. Now I can move my screen back down. There we go. That's better. All right. So I just wanted to change this to green. But we're down 4.5% in pre-market, guys. Oh, people are so stupid. People are so stupid. I can just see I can see the shorts and all the negative Tesla people just getting super fucking stoked right now. And I love it because right now, again, if I buy those leaps, so those leaps, guys, they're the equivalent of down 40%. I'm so fucking glad I sold up here. Do you guys see why I sold up here? Do you guys see why I sold those fucking leaps up here? Because now they're down 40% and I got the fuck out. So the stock down 20%, not 40%. 40% painful number. But now I can take my stock and I can sell some of it and I can buy the leaps and I can get a 2x return to the upside. It's like buying the fucking dip on Tesla without diverting any more capital to it. I'm probably just going to divert capital to it this morning. I'll probably put like 100K into it in 5 minutes. But this is great. Like, again, I'm getting the multiplier. I'm getting something that basically is probably going to be down 9% on open today. I love it. Are you taking the Greeks into account with some leaps? Not really. I keep things very stupid simple. I want to know what the multiplier is that I'm going to get. And then I want to know roughly. I use technicals, fundamentals, and financials to figure out targeting. So I figure out my target, and again, mine are what, a 330 strike. So it's down here. It's a super safe fucking bet. But with this dropping like crazy, the leap bleeds like crazy. And so I'm excited. I'm going to buy it. How many 330s I'm glad I sold my leaps last week. I'll buy back in the 360 to 380. Well, I mean, we're there. We're in the 380s. I'm buying today. I don't know why you're picking 360 specifically. I mean, that's down here, right? So that's if we do a complete back test. Could we do that? Yeah. But I would dial into that. I mean, this is just me. Again, this is what I'm doing, right? So you do your own thing. I don't care about a 6.5% drop. I care about the 21% it's already dropped. So I'm dialing in now. But everybody do their own thing. We'll see who ends up being a writer. But I'm excited. This is great. This is great. And again, if we do drop down to the 360s and do this clean back test off of our breakout zone, guys, then that would give you 35% upside or 70% upside with the leaps. So if we do drop further, I'll love that shit. I'll turn that into $250,000 in leaps, maybe 300, 400,000. I'll start to dial into it more aggressively as we drop. Because again, I'd love a 70% or a 70% upside just to get to the previous all-time high that we were at a month ago. Not even 2.5 weeks ago. I'm glad I did sell 10% of Tesla stock and looking to buy back the call, but is it too early? I don't know. We could drop another 6.5%. From where we were at the low this morning, it's only a 5.66% drop. But it can drop more. You guys do you. I'm buying now. I'm picking up some now. But I've got more capital to play with too, right? Like I can always buy more. I can sell the stock and then buy the call. And the call can give me 2x the underlying. So if this drops another 6.5% or gets crazy and somehow we back test peak volumes down here at with another 10%, or I'm sorry, let's see from where we are right now. It's already kind of coming back. But if we drop another 12%, I would love that. I would buy the shit out of that. I might actually convert all my stock into calls at that level because that would give me 80 or 90% upside to get to the previous high again with my leaps. I'd eat that shit up. Bull breakfast. Market's about to open. I got to do some buy-in here in a second. Let's do this. We'll get back to live here. I can't. Let's listen to these morons just a little bit more for another minute.
True, Waymo is local. But I think people are thinking, well, Tesla, we talked about it. They have better data in terms of full self-driving. They actually have data. They just aren't in the running. But what happens if President-elect Trump says, you know what, a federal interstate, we're now going to allow that. And the whole country folds, I think. So that's what people are betting on.
Yeah, well, and
there's so much more upside than now. It's just a great buying opportunity. how many?
generative AI
Right.
in the way that
the
they
latency's
are.
too great, Waymo, versus what they have.
No, I'm not buying a 490. No, I'm good.
I mean,
But
they have a
that
different
one plant.
approach than Waymo.
Right. They
as
have
we know.
an approach to have a brain in the car and a brain.
And Musk is famous, of course, and fully admits, famous for making estimates in terms of when we'll get there for full self-driving.
I wouldn't.
But I think there is a lot of optimism.
I would encourage people not to bottom feed too much on Tesla right now, because anybody. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Stupid people will sell because they look at a headline and think that it's bullshit, and that the company's like they peaked or something. But that is just the wrong fucking mentality to have right now. Q1 is it's probably going to be amazing, considering Q1 is usually the shittiest quarter. It's going to be dramatically better than one would expect, and at worst case, Q2 is going to be great. So, I will definitely be dialing into leaps, and I'll take the short-term losses for long-term gain.
Around the advances they're making from, whatever it was, 12.3 to where they are now. And
I think there are a lot of people who just feel, look, he's got the ear of the president. So
yeah, there's the 3-day rule. You could abide by that too. But I start dialing in. So here's the reason. Here's the reason that here's the reason that 2024 sucked for me. Oh, here, let's get to the opening bell real quick.
Here at the big board, American Red Cross kicking off Blood Donor Month over at the NASDAQ New Era Helium.
All right, I got to buy. 1 second
here. That was
a
recent listing via SPAC. By the way, SPACs, they have not died.
No,
they have not died.
And there's a sucker born every minute. I mean, look, Vertiv was a good SPAC.
Now, listen, a lot of the rules around them and the various allocations to given parties have changed. They're more favorable now. But yeah, SPACs, I thought after that period of 21, 22 would go away.
Yeah, look, I think people are always trying to find something new and exciting. Helium, by the way, is dominated by Linde. But Linde is an old-fashioned industrial that my Travel Trust owns. They also do oxygen for at home, and they also do carbonation, and most importantly, they do carbon capture. And I think this could be a year of carbon capture, even as the president-elect may not believe that you need carbon
that's
capture.
Interesting, because there are a lot of questions about what parts of the Inflation Reduction Act, poorly named, of course, really was a climate change bill, will be rolled back by the incoming Trump administration. There have been a lot of strategies, at least, that are partially dependent on carbon capture.
I got a 141.
Amongst our largest companies, such as one I covered very closely, ExxonMobil.
I mentioned it because they are.
I just bought some leaps at 141 for the June 2023. Or I'm sorry, the June 2026 330. I got them for 141 this morning. That's down about 8%. It looks like it's going lower, so I'll probably get more here too. I think it's 8%. I'm sorry, 140.50 is what I executed at. 140.50. So what is that? It was 154 this morning. How much of a drop is that? Times 0.91. So I got it for down about almost 9% on the day. Almost 9% on the day. Let me put this out here real quick and just share it with everybody else, so people know what I'm doing. If you're not watching the show, even though I don't know why you'd be looking at my tweets if you're not watching the show right now. Doesn't make a lot of sense. All right, let's switch this to subs, and then we'll get back to work. Let me just make sure I get this in the Discord, too. Oh, what was that? Weird. It locked onto my other screen on my... All right, there we go. Oh, today's trades... I gotta update the portfolio allocation since the year came to an end. I was just a hair under 5 million, which is a bummer because again I wanted to be at 6.5 for my low for 2025, so that actually drags that down. But that's whatever. It is what it is. I'll get there. I'm still not doing too bad. Again, so I ended up I don't know. I'd have to do the math, but maybe like down here. So it wasn't as asymmetric as I was hoping for the year. It was a really shitty year for me. But my goal is 15,000 for my peak this next year. Or I'm sorry, 15 million, 15,000. Yo, lol. What about, oh, it's down more. Shit, maybe I should buy more. Give me 1 second, guys. I'm going to buy some more. Gonna buy some more. Let me see what I can get down to here. Tesla, let me just real quickly, I'm going to sell a little bit of stock. So SoFi getting butchered? I heard that. What's SoFi at? Ooh, 7%. Ooh, that's getting interesting too. I heard it got an analyst downgrade. That the same guy that was wrong before about write-offs, he thought they were going to be like a couple percent higher than they were. And so yeah, that's taking a hit. Let me see here real quick. I'm probably going to sell some. I'm going to dump my TLT for this shit. 1 second here. I'm going to dump my TLT because what the fuck? Why is my... Oh, there we go. 699. I will buy more Tesla today. I think the market is just getting this completely and utterly wrong. And I'm going to take advantage of that. So let's see. What are we at right now for those calls? Probably what? Sub 140 now. Just 1 second here, guys. I'm trying to... Oh, God. It's fucking stupid. I'm having... Oh, there we go. My speech dictation thing was getting in the way of what I was trying to do. It's like I'm trying to trade here, motherfuckers. Oh, good. Okay. All right, sweet. I'm going to probably buy like another... What are we looking at here? People are making her bleed. I'm going to buy another 3. 135. Okay, cool. 135. I'll do... 133. Jesus Christ. People are dumb as fuck. All right. Let's see here. 133. Is that sitting good? I'll try that. Boop, 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 boo. All right. Bought a couple more. Yes, closed. 133. I'm going to leave a few more open at lower levels, and then I'll get back to work here, guys. Sorry, I can't pass up this opportunity. It's like, this is fucking great. It's down almost 7% right now. Let me do another 3 here. What are we at? Let's see. Can we get to 129? Is that possible? Let's see. 129. I'm going to try 129. Can we? 129. I'm going to go for 129. 1 second here. It's a Black Friday sale, right? Dude, I don't really buy a lot of crap for Christmas unless I absolutely have to. But this is fun. All right, so I got 3 open for 129. So I already got the ones at 140 down about 9% on the day. It looks like I'm jumping in with stuff. I got 1 order for like 132, and then I'm shooting for another order of 3 at 129, and I'll keep fucking adding. I think people are crazy. This thing's down 7% on the day. I think that's absolutely absurd, but I'll take it. I'll take it. Hopefully this other order closes. I'm going to buy some of the stock too. Fuck it. I'm going to get leaps and stock. Yeah, well, you know what? I'll wait. What do I have right now? 11. Okay, good. So it did get that order in. Is it going to get any lower? It feels like that's the bottom. Let me see. I do want to make sure this other contract closes to draw down my... 1 sec here. 131, 132 seems to be the bottom here. Stock down 10%? What's down 10%? Oh, SoFi was down almost 10%? God, I might have to look at SoFi leaves. I am going to buy some SoFi today. I think that's bullshit. Let me just see real quickly where SoFi is sitting too. I'm trying to get these leaps to close on a Tesla real quick here because I think this is just a steal. Now they're 134. Fuck. Let me try that. I'll leave it probably there and see if they close. All right, so looking over here, we've got 9% on SoFi. Is this going to be a good level? That's just a crazy number. I'm going to buy some SoFi today too. I'm just sticking with stock on that one. Just a DCA here. Not going to get too crazy with it. Let's see here. Maybe, let's see, 500, probably 500 shares. Something tiny. What is that? Oh, that's only $7 grand. Fuck that. That's not enough. 1,500 shares. Oh, all right. $20,000 in SoFi. Acquired. Down almost 9% on the day. It could go lower. That's cool if it does. All right. Ooh, I do have to go to the bathroom. If you guys will give me a second here. We got Bitcoin up. You can see, again, Bitcoin retracing off the 50. It got above it for a second, but it didn't. It just couldn't hold. We do want to see that hold. Otherwise, we could roll over more in Bitcoin too. MicroStrategy's up 3% or 3.3%. Let's just pull this up. I'm going to pull, while we're waiting here, guys, I'm going to go ahead and, while I'm hitting the restroom super fast, I'm just going to pull this up to get the watch list up and running and sort it by returns here. So Tesla and SoFi were the biggest droppers on the day. And let me just see here. So I'm going to leave that and I'll be right back. Give me a second. Okay? 1 second. All right, I'm back. Ugh. All right, here, let's get audio. All right, there we go. I'm back. What'd I miss? Let me see if my order closed here real quick, guys, for Tesla, because I had another one for 3 contracts that closed around the 132, 133 range, and then I had another one I was trying to do at 134. Originally, I was trying to get 129, but I don't think it's gonna. Oh, it's already bouncing, fuckers. Hopefully that second one closed too, or third one. Order status. Oh, it did close. Sweet. I got, oh, no, wait. That was SoFi. Now the other one's open. Shit, it's already bouncing too. Now it's 137.30. I'll just hold off. I'll hold off on this last order. I'm just going to leave it at 129. Let me just republish real quickly here. MicroStrategy back above 300. Yes, it's actually looking really strong. Loving that MSTX I bought last week and the MicroStrategy. I went pretty balls deep into MSTR last week. So sitting at, just in the primary account, sitting at about $770,000 right now at MSTR and MSTX. I got about $65,000 in MSTX. So that's cool. And that's just the primary. So I'm probably sitting at between 900,000 and $1 million right now in MSTR. Pretty exciting. All right, let's take a look here. What else is going on today? Palantir down 3.8%. Ooh, I'm going to nibble on Palantir. I said I'd nibble on the way down. I'm going to buy another. I'm getting crazy today, guys. I'm going to buy 30 shares of Palantir. Watch out. Watch out, bitches. It's getting nuts up in here. What is that, $1,500? Woo! Oh, I'm sorry, $2,200 worth today, guys. I'm officially a whale on Palantir because now I have $3,600 in Palantir. Sweet. What else we got? So SoFi already bouncing back. Tesla bouncing back. Palantir down 3.3%. Okay, cool. All right, sweet. Let me just post my latest, and then we'll get back to the news here, guys. Leave some Palantir shares for the rest of us. I know, right? Look at me. I do want to say this, guys, and I'm going to keep saying this. And don't get me wrong, it can go higher. Irrational behavior can last for a very long time. But with forward PE of 140-ish, if Palantir gets, look at this. Look at how it perfectly rejected at this fib level at the 1.618. That is where a parabolic move goes to die. It's usually between there and here, right? This is crazy because this is another full measured move. But this is where parabolic moves go to die. Not that it couldn't go higher and get a little bit higher up into here, but I saw people talking about how even a guy who I really love and have a ton of respect for, Cantonese Cat, he was posted something that showed like comparing it to Bitcoin and showing how it could close between here and like up here or something. And I'm like, are we really saying that this thing can 9x and be $1 trillion company in the next year for Palantir? Because that is not logical. That is not logical. I completely disagree with it. And again, we're continuing our retrace here. And it can keep going lower, and I'll just increase the amounts that I buy on the way down. So right now it's a joke, right? Because I bought 30 shares. Maybe next time it's 50 when it's down over here in the 60s. And then maybe next time it's 100. And then maybe the next time it's 5, and then it's 1,000. If we get down to, I tell you this, if we get down to the 40s, yeah, I would buy 1,000 of that pretty easy. Maybe 2, 3. But again, it's one of those things where I don't know. At least I'm getting into it now, and I just don't. I'm not expecting it to do anything over the short term, which is why I'm not buying it aggressively. Let me just post one more time here what we're doing, and then we'll get back to it. And thank you for everybody that's here. Nice turnout today, guys. Almost 1,300 people. If you guys could hit the like, it is greatly appreciated. I do try and work hard for you guys and try and provide some unique input that I don't think others do. I do think I'm more transparent than anybody else that's out there. Bought a large amount of Palantir today, along with Tesla. This way people will sub and be like, wait a sec, what the fuck is he talking about? And SoFi sold TLT for the purchases. All right. That's a little bit of clickbait there. Guys, Bitcoin's above 97,000. What the fuck is happening? MSTX is at 12.5%. What is happening? What is happening? What is happening? I averaged down on leaps for CleanSpark last Friday. So I did my buying last week. I don't know what it's sitting at today. It looks like the leaps are up as much as the stock is, so they haven't really come back. They'll come back as the price starts to get a lot better, but it's looking good. I've got about 350 maybe across CleanSpark, across all my accounts. Not as much as it used to be. Guys, 97,120. Is Sailor buying today? I don't know. Seems like something's going on. Bought a large amount of Palantir today. What a clickbait asshole. I can't believe I did that. Who is this guy? It's like we don't even know him anymore. All right. People are going to be like, 30 shares, Jesse? 30? Oh, I forgot to do this. All right, there we go. All right. Anyway, back to it. Let's get to work. We've been dicking around long enough. Thank you again to the almost 1,300 people that are here. I appreciate you guys. Hopefully I'm providing value. S&P Global USA Manufacturing. Oh, that's probably what sent us higher. Did we get that yet? Let me just see here real quick. No, that comes out at 9. Or no, it did come out. Yeah. That's what set us up. This came out in the last minute, guys. Global manufacturing PMI for the United States was 49.4. Previous was 49.7, but consensus was 48.3 and forecast was 48.3. So it's better than expected for manufacturing, guys. Better than expected. Gotta love it. What about my bladder? Jesse, what's your day like? Day in the life of Jesse. I wake up between 4 and 5 usually. If my alarm goes off, it's 6. Today was 6. I do this, and then I watch markets and do other stuff, and my day after this will be going to the gym. And lately I've been playing Path of Exile 2, which is kind of funny. But I don't really get into games, but I've been playing that a little bit. But honestly, it's kind of hard to focus on gaming for too long. I get so excited about markets, so I've kind of started to wane on that too. But yeah, and then eventually the kid gets picked up. We start spending time with her. I try and do other things. I'll probably go out to breakfast with my mother-in-law, my wife, after we go to the gym, and spend some time with her because she's going to be traveling to Panama. We're paying to ship her off there because she loves her family, and that's where she's from, and she hates the winters in the Midwest, and would much rather be in a tropical location. I can't blame her. So we're going to send her there in about a week. And so I'm trying to spend some time with her because I love her and she's a great person. And then, what other random things. A lot of the times I have lunch dates with friends or business acquaintances. And then again, once the kid gets off, I try and spend time with her. That's pretty much a lot of it. And then the afternoon, I try and chill and do whatever I want. Why is IREN double of CLSK? I don't know, man. I don't care. I own IREN too. I don't know. It's not double. It's technically like almost double, but not double. Why is Mara less than IREN, but more than CLSK? I don't know. I don't care. Snowstorm Sunday for Ohio Valley. Ugh. Yeah, it's getting cold where we're at. It's like in the 20s for the highs. I woke up early to be here. Lol. It's 6:45 in LA. That's pretty early. I mean, 4 or 5 is really early for me, but I'm trying to get a lot of sleep. But let's look here, guys. So Canada, again, they beat expectations too. Canada, 52.2, previous 52, consensus 51.9, forecast 51.5. So that's kind of fascinating, honestly. For Canada, I could see it because they're trying to front run tariffs potentially, but I don't think a lot of people take the tariffs seriously, or they shouldn't, because again, I think it's more of a negotiating tactic that Trump is using, which is why I think the dollar will start to come down too. Dollar's up a lot today, guys. That's fascinating. Dollar's up 0.42% today, but not really having any impact on the stock market, which is great. So again, big leap, 0.43% right now. Should technically be pulling us down, but so far the market's doing pretty good considering. I mean, it's doing pretty good. What is SoFi? What is SoFi at right now? Where did my SoFi go? Did I move it? Did I move SoFi? What is ARGT at? I want to own more of that too. ARGT's up 2.2% today. Sweet. Wish I would have bought more of that. Palantir down 2%, so it's getting its bounce. SoFi down 5.84, so it's getting its bounce. And Tesla down 4, less than 4 now. The market is incredibly resilient considering the current environment. My portfolio is up today across the board because, well, my Tesla, my main portfolio is down. What are my thoughts on quantum stocks? I think it's a great way to lose money. It's a really great way to lose money. If you want to lose money, definitely go long on quantum stocks right here. And there's people in the chat that will try and pitch them to you. So just listen to them if you want to lose money. Yair, Palantir bounce. Jesse, you're rich. Dude, I am. I got 50 shares. Enjoying that today. Are you still in Cypher? I am, but it's kind of like dust. Bitfarms is the same way. I stayed away from the really small guys. It can do well. It could do well. I just don't have as much faith in them. Again, small caps can actually outperform large, so it could be the wrong bet. I'm just trying to be conservative with my investments, and I'm really in love with MSTR. MSTR is my hottie right now. Daniel Dibb, Tesla energy storage deployments for 2024 were 31.4 gigawatt. No, they were really. Let me look over here. I thought we got the report and I released it right here. Isn't this Q4? Or is this just, no, it says 11 for Q4. Is this wrong? I mean, that would have been a huge number. That doesn't seem right though. Tesla energy deployments. Tesla energy record deployments, 11. No, it was 11. Trailing 12-month storage deployments reached 31. That's probably what. Okay. So I see what you're talking about now. Okay. Well, I mean, that's a good looking number too. Let's put that out there. But 11 gigawatts were deployed in Q4. It's the trailing number that they're reflecting, which is a great number. I mean, it's a beautiful chart. Excuse me. Yeah, it's a beautiful chart. Can you take a look at Hood? Yeah, we can look at Hood. I do want to go. There are a few other news-related events. Yeah, I said that. Okay, cool. Thanks, Daniel. There are a few other events that I want to cover too. Let me just see here. I want to see if anybody's saying samesies. Nom. Good job, Sabotage. You know it says 30 shares, right? Yes, I do. All right. Yeah. Deadpool gets the joke. He gets the joke. You should update this with current returns. Thanks for... Yeah, I do. I do need to do. Yep. Yeah, so sorry. I've got the file on my other computer, and I need to get it on my Mac. It's really easy to do. I've just been lazy. Guys, Bitcoin is going up. So these are in the money, are asymmetric, then getting out of the money option. Yeah, again, lower returns. All right. Okay. So I think I've told people enough about that. So guys, this data though, the manufacturing data out of Canada and the US, stupid fucking bullish. In 3 minutes, we'll get Mexico too. If Mexico is good, if all of North America is good for manufacturing data, boom. Yeah, MicroStrategy is going up. My MSTX is up 13%, and MicroStrategy is up 6.5%. We're finally getting our 2x. Huge gap on MSTX going all the way up to 50. That'll be great. Mara's up 8. There's so much. CleanSpark's up 6. Palantir's only down less than 1%. Hood is up 4.66. This is good stuff, guys. This is good stuff. Tesla's down only 3.75. Tesla looks... Let's look at all these charts real quick. Let's roll through them. They're beautiful. Let's go through charts. So... if we just look over here, guys, at Tesla, look at that. Look at that nice wick and bounce there. Super beautiful. Very, very gorgeous. Very excited about that. I think that's a great number. I think people are being real dumb if they don't understand. Right now, it can't be at 137. The Tesla calls must be higher than that. If they're not, I'm going to buy more right now. No, they are. Okay, cool. That makes sense. Finally, the miners look ready. Seems like a reoccurring theme. Do you recommend Tom Lee's subscription? I have it, and I like it. I think Tom Lee's fucking great. If you can afford it. Some people don't want to pay the... Well, I think it's $70 a month, or what is it, $200? I don't even fucking know what it is. Honestly, I'm not even paying for it. There's been so many referral credits. You guys just keep buying it. So I haven't even paid for it yet. If you guys could help with referrals on... If I could get referral credits to get my Hurricane, my Lamborghini Huracan, I would greatly appreciate you guys. I don't know if that's possible, but here's my Huracan, guys. If you guys could help fund my Huracan, it's very important that I have one of these. Okay, so if anybody wants to help fund that, let me know. I'll put out a PayPal. I don't want to play that yet, but if anybody wants to fund my Huracan, I will be setting up a donation program. That's a joke, by the way. Unless you want to. All right, Jesse, could you post an update? Yes, I just said that was somebody else. Yes, I will. Yes. You guys are on it. All right. Anyway, let's get back to it. So we've got the data coming out from Mexico right now. I'll contribute if you let me drive it. Fuck yeah. Yes, depending upon the contribution. If it's $5, maybe not. My insurance probably won't be good enough. But yeah, so we got manufacturing in Mexico coming out, and we've got construction spending month over month in the United States. So interested to see all that. I think I'm at 1 star. Yeah, okay, good. I want to get all the data. All the datas. So we got 1 minute, guys. Huracan joke almost got me. Yeah, guys. If people really want to contribute, I'm not going to deny you the ability, okay? But I really want my Huracan. It's so pretty. It's such a pretty car. At least this one. This one right here, guys. I mean, I'm sorry. If you don't like the look of this car, that's on you. It's not on me. Not on me. I love it. And I love the carbon fiber hood in black. I just think it adds an element of coolness. And then just the back, guys. Just the back. It's so sexy. Look at it. Look at the ass end of this car while we wait for Mexico. Look at the ass end of that. It's got like this big old vent back here. Oh, it's got this little top up. Sexy. Sexy, sexy. All right, anyway. Starship meetup for everyone to test drive Jesse's Huracan. Hell yeah, I liked it. I like it. I like the way you're thinking. Like the way you're thinking. Jesse, you should get your subscribers to contribute and maybe choose one every month for a free ride. There you go. I'll just drive around the country in the Huracan giving free rides. I like it. All right, so anyway, we're waiting on Mexico. I really, guys, if you're getting analytic data, into the cryptoverse is beautiful. There is so much data in here. And it's all stuff where it's interactive and you can click on it and you can change the metrics by like month over month, quarter over quarter, none. You can throw in moving averages. You can do linear log scales, both on price and metrics. He's got a really sweet setup. I love it. I thought originally it was just going to be crypto. Oh, here we go. Construction spending was flat. Now, construction spending, we expected 0.3 and 0.4, so that is negative month over month. But I also don't think that's crazy. Red Lambo is like going to a wedding dress in white. Hey, man, I'll get a Ferrari too. But I'm sorry, I love this. If this was a deep blue with carbon fiber, I would love that even more. But, you know, beggars can't be choosers. And for $310,000, I don't want to go much higher than that. Did we get our global manufacturing from Mexico? Is Mexico? There we go. It's running. It's running. The market's going up because the manufacturing data out of Canada and the U.S. is fucking sick. It's way better than expected. That's why the market's going up. It's not because of the U.S. dollar. The U.S. dollar was screaming. Now we're just waiting on Mexico. It's coming out right now to see whether or not we have a trifecta on North America. Did Canada, the United States, and Mexico crush it on manufacturing? Mexico is going to be a little iffy because, again, like we know Tesla pulled theirs from Mexico, and we know there's a lot of Chinese exports going through Mexico. So I don't know if Mexico is going to look as good. It should have came out. It's grinding away. We'll see in a second here. So if there's anything that's going to be weak, I would expect it to be Mexico. If Mexico is strong too, then I think markets are front running Donald Trump's initiative to increase manufacturing in the United States. And they probably look at North America, whether it be Mexico, Canada, or the United States, as a safe haven. All right, let's see here real quick. Oh, did we get it? Colombia dividida. Nope, it's still going. Still waiting on Mexico. Still looking at my Lambo over here. Sorry. I'm going to pull up other stuff. But yeah, so markets are looking good. We're looking loose today, guys. We like it. We do have Santelli talking here. Let's just see what he has to say.
For now, though, let's get some economic data that just crossed the tape, and Rick Santelli has that for us. Rick.
Yes,
wait. We got Mexico. We got Mexico. Mexico, 49.8. Consensus or forecast was 50, but that's right in line with previous. It's 0.1 lower. So again, Mexico the weaker. I'm not surprised by that. A lot of Chinese exports. Mexico's been doing a good job though, cracking down on Chinese companies that are avoiding tariffs. So they're taking shit really seriously. They're taking the exports or the deportation seriously and helping Trump with that. And they're taking tariff evaders from China very seriously. So they're doing a good job. That could maybe explain some of the dip in theirs. This is good, though. This is all good.
November number, we're expecting a number up 0.3, a positive number. Comes in 0, unchanged. And last month's up 0.4, gets upgraded by 0.1 to up 0.5%. How does unchanged fit in? Well, unchanged equals where we were in July. To find a lower number, you go to June of 24 when it was minus 1.1. So we have seen construction come back from some of those June lows. Seems to be slowing just a bit, at least based on this data. In terms of ISM manufacturing, that's supposed to hit the wires. I do not see it yet. We will come back and let you know when we do get those data points. Sarah, back to you.
Okay, Rick, thank you very much.
All right, so he's got more data points coming for us. We'll keep an eye on that.
Just throw some other data points at you.
All right, so we're going to leave that there. So all the data looks good, guys. So again, why is the market up today? It's not just the manufacturing data. It's the employment data, right? We had a lot of concerns about continuing and jobless claim 4-week averages being high. The continuing jobless claims dropped well below consensus and forecast and below previous. So we don't have a really strong theme right now of people have lost their jobs because initial jobless claims were well below consensus and forecast. And we don't have a theme of people lost their jobs and they can't find new jobs because, again, the continuing claims and the 4-week average got better. And on top of that, we blew it out of the water with global manufacturing PMIs for Canada and the U.S. And Mexico came in, in a bronze, a distant third, but acceptable. And construction spending was a little bit weaker than it was expected to be. But honestly, nobody gives a shit about that right now. There was tons of construction. When you look at construction being a little weak is not surprising because there was tons of construction spending for apartment buildings and condos, massive amounts. So there's some really good data points into the cryptoverse for that too. Again, just a wealth of information on his site. I love it. I really love it. I'm checking out Crypto Quant this week too. Again, my goal is to provide as much as I can in regard to metrics for you guys, so I'll be doing that. Let's see what the CNN Fear and Greed Index, even though the dollar is up 0.42% on the day, CNN Fear and Greed is still 28. We got room to run here, guys. And again, we were showing you what Banana was talking about with the divergences to the upside and talking about the rubber band effect and about how we were going to break higher. I was talking to you too. If you remember here, let's just go back. I should probably just go to the Bitcoin section. I was talking to yesterday about how we had divergences on the RSI and the MACD on the 4-hour candle looking to break us out higher. And then more recently, I said we want to really get above 98,000. We're still only at 97.1. I would like to see 98. And if you look over here, it's actually really 98.5. Because if you look at this, that's peak volume on the time frame here. So if we got above 98.5, guys, then we're back in the game of, all right, this bitch is running. So ideally we close at least above the 50 moving average, which is at this 97-ish range. But even better if we can get above 98.5, where we have peak volumes. That is a really great flip on the trend, and that is something that I would love to see. But really beautiful looking market. All right, so let's keep rocking and rolling here. So we got through a bunch of stuff. Did we get through all of our Bitcoin metrics? I don't think we did. So let me refresh here. So we'll just finish up news. $1.5 trillion Morgan Stanley to offer Bitcoin and crypto trading. That's going to be huge. AI-focused education firm Genius Group buys $10 million in Bitcoin and plans to invest at least 90% of its reserves in BTC, targeting $120 million. This is news 2 days ago. This is Bitcoin Magazine said, gold is physical, fiat is political, and Bitcoin is mathematical. Bitcoin is the winner. We've got Dennis Porter. There is near 100% guarantee that a state in the U.S. will begin to buy Bitcoin. We will know who in the next 4 months it's happening. I agree. And we're probably going to get a strategic Bitcoin reserve, even if it's light. It's strategic Bitcoin reserve light without a lot of devotion towards purchases. We will still have a strategic Bitcoin reserve and talk about purchasing. And then we'll have a state that adopts in the next 4 months. These are huge, monumental events that are coming. Alessandro said that we start the year with a new low on Bitcoin exchanges and a $30,000 Bitcoin withdrawal in the last 24 hours. That was one person. One person bought $30,000 Bitcoin, or one entity bought 30,000 in Bitcoin and pulled them off into a hardware wallet. So again, Bitcoin price here, but we're looking at levels per coin glass that are just record low levels of Bitcoin on exchanges. Again, OTC, over-the-counter trading, running low. Bitcoin on exchanges running low. Price squeeze imminent, with major news sitting in front of us. 23 hours ago, Hong Kong listed company Yujing Technology announces that it has purchased Bitcoin since July of 2024, acquiring a total of 78 Bitcoin at an average of 80,960 each for a total of 6.3 million. Hong Kong, they're trying to. This is their method for capital outflows in Hong Kong. It's buying Bitcoin, doing coin joins, shit like that. Cryptos R Us said BTC could see a rally this month as stablecoin reserves are near record levels of $45 billion as the signals potential buy pressure and bullish start to the new year per CryptoQuant. Why does this matter? Why does this matter? Because this right here, after the Trump presidency, we went from levels of about 25 billion and added 20 fucking billion onto that number. That is huge. That is astronomical. Okay? And when that happens historically, if you go back further, and I got to get my Crypto Quant membership, I'll try and do a post about this for subs only on X. But when you go back historically and you look at massive increases in the amount of stablecoin issuance, you're going to see the crypto markets fucking explode with Bitcoin at the lead. Straight up. My boy Cantonese Cat, he did say in here, this just smells like a wick-off accumulation zone to me. Not sure if it'll keep going. And form an even lower spring, but so far so good. And I agree. We could do a lower spring, but this does look like a wick-off accumulation. He's 100% right. And he was more bullish than I was when I was bearish last. But you know what? I was bearish kind of at the right time, short term, and then I did a bunch of buying, and that's turned out really well for this week. And again, this is Zhu Jing again. This is just another post that we already talked about. This is the CEO of MetaPlanet. So again, this is Japanese Michael Saylor. This is at New Year's at the party, hanging out with what is her name? Natalie? No, it's not Natalie. I don't remember her name. She's awesome though. But he's just talking about if Bitcoin adopts, or if President Trump adopts Bitcoin as a strategic reserve, Asian nations across the world are going to follow. And it's not just Asian; it's more.
I'm slowly but surely seeing Bitcoin becoming a topic of discussion. At the highest levels of government, corporations around the world beginning to adopt it as a Bitcoin standard. In April, for us, that's when we decided that we wanted to adopt Bitcoin, and now all we want to do is accumulate more Bitcoin over time for our shareholders. And so 2024 will go down as the year where it all began.
The year where it all began, and also sort of like Donald Trump.
Jesse, what's up with PayPal? I don't know. It's up today. It's up 1.7%. It's bouncing. It's actually bouncing really perfectly. Here, we'll look at it real quick, and then I'll get back to news. I will look at more charts for anybody who sticks around. Isabella, thank you. Thank you, 2A. So it's bouncing almost perfectly, by the way. Drunk Donkey, thank you for the $25 for the Lambo. You deserve it. Thanks, brother. You guys are fucking awesome. Some people will be like, dude's talking about a fucking Lambo and donations. You give me $25. You're fucking awesome, dude. All right. So, yes, almost a perfect bounce, guys, off the fib level. We didn't get quite to it, but this is a good bounce zone for PayPal. And again, I think that whole honey thing is a honey trap. I don't think it matters. I think we could still jump 31% to 113. If we jump 31%, I get roughly 8x that number. So I get 250%. I've got, I don't know, that should give me like 1.2 million, I think, in PayPal, 1.2 to 1.5 million in PayPal calls. That'd be a good number. I won't hate that number. And again, we still have a gap, guys, over here, going up to the 150 range, and then another gap in PayPal up to the 224. I don't expect 224 anytime soon, but I do expect the 150. I think that's doable. I think that's a doable number. And again, I can get 8 to 10x if that happens. So, and 8x would be a 560%, and a 10x would be about 750% return off of PayPal. So that's what we call an asymmetric bet, and we like that. Akash 2000, can Tesla go back to the 400s today? Maybe. doubtful. It would be a really bullish sign if it did. But I think people are too stupid. There's the 3-day rule where you kind of need to let the dust settle. I think that's probably true. I think that's probably true. All right, so let's keep going. I want to get through the news. So, all right, the Syrian Center for Economic Research, again, Syria, Assad got overthrown. He was a horrible person. But now they're probably butchering Christians in Syria, and they're burning down Christmas trees for sure. But hopefully this regime will be conservative and not radical Islamic. We'll see. They're probably going to be radical. That's my guess. That's how Islam works in that region of the world. And I don't know. It seems like a lot of Europe and the United States now too, doesn't it? With ISIS attacks in New Orleans, it kind of seems to be the thing. Anyway, it says, but here's the thing. They're talking about pushing for legalization of Bitcoin, and I think that's great. If anything can be a stabilizing factor in democracies and countries around the world, not that Syria is a democracy, it'll be Bitcoin. Anthony Scaramucci says he's very confident the U.S. Senate is going to vote to approve a Bitcoin strategic reserve. I agree. I want you guys to hear this real quick.
You think we'll get a strategic Bitcoin reserve? You think that's a thing?
I do, actually.
What does that look like, do you think?
They've got the votes. Haggerty wants it. McCormick wants it.
They have the votes in the Senate, do you think?
I think so, yeah. There's 53.
Really?
I do think so, yes.
For to her bill to get 1 million
There's
Bitcoin,
Democrats in the
right?
Senate
That was her full bill,
yeah.
right?
Well,
to keep the 200,000 then.
This stuff gets...
The most conservative right-wing people in government are going to be pro-Bitcoin. And so, again, a lot of the people that were like against the last bill and the debt extension, they're going to be for this.
Course traded. So you'll probably have...
That ceiling
200 won't get sold. They'll probably buy another 400,000 or 500,000 Bitcoin.
What?
Over the next...
You don't think
that's
this is
going to happen?
real? Senator, talk about it.
Let me tell you why I think it will happen, okay? Trump wants it to happen. And he's got the Senate Banking Committee. Tim Scott wants it to happen.
So I'm pretty sure that Anthony Scaramucci was at Trump's estate in Mar-a-Lago on New Year's too. So he knows what Trump wants.
Going to be the chair of the Senate Banking Committee. Basent wants it to happen. If you're telling me there are no Democrats,
yes,
and
Jason.
I don't believe this because a lot of Democrats voted for the Saab 121 bill. If you looked at the dispersion of vote, it was a bipartisan approval of that bill. And by the way, Ryan, it was if you were 40 or 50, let's say you were below the age of 60, you voted for the bill if you were a Democrat. If you were a fossil like Elizabeth Warren or Sherrod Brown, you voted against it. So if you're telling me there are no Democrats that are going to vote for that, then I'll say, okay, then we're not going to get it. But I don't see that. I think Ro Khanna would vote for it. I think there's a lot of Democrats that look at it and say, if Bitcoin is digital gold and we have $600 billion of gold on reserve at our bank, in the Federal Reserve Bank, you're telling me we couldn't put 75 to $100 billion of Bitcoin on reserve?
Yeah, I totally agree with him. I think that's exactly what's going to happen.
You think we'll get a strategic Bitcoin reserve?
Going to pause that real quick here. Somebody asked, what was the question here? Congrats to those who are loving today's show. This should be a great year. It's going to be a great year. Asked about PayPal calls. I gave that. What's your trading view rewind? How many charts open? I pulled up at least, I think it was 584 tickers. So it was a lot. My rewind was a lot. I do a lot on TradingView. It was a lot. I wanted to buy some new today. 1 second here, guys. I just want to pick, I wanted to pick up some new today. So I'm going to do like a couple thousand, maybe 3,000 shares. I've been wanting to buy new. New is a Brazilian bank. Might be a bad decision. I don't know. I just picked up 30 grand in it. It has fallen a lot. I'll look at that in a little bit here. So I picked up some of that. I'll update my holdings here in a second. Bitcoin miner Hive Digital Technologies is moving their headquarters from Vancouver, Canada to Texas due to President-elect Donald Trump's positive stance on Bitcoin. Again, and if you move $1 billion, guys, you're going to get expedited approvals, regulatory approvals. Easy decision. The CEO of Rumble CEO of Rumble, a $3.6 billion company, said that they're going to allow the ability to be paid out in stable coins and Bitcoin, and tips and all that kind of stuff. Again, I pointed out over here that Bitcoin, the MACD, the daily MACD, had its strongest drop since August of this last year. And before that, the strongest drop based on short-term momentum, not time, since 2021. And that this was probably another signal that we're going to bounce along with the divergences on the RSI and the MACD that I was talking about. Let's see here. We've got, again, Bitwise proposes new ETF tracking major BTC holding companies. That's amazing. There's just so much good stuff happening, guys. Yeah, so much good stuff on the Bitcoin front. I would like your take on AMD. I see it over 300 by April. Tommy's actually got a really good post on AMD. Let me see here real quick. Let's pull up AI and chips. I think he's right. I'm not huge on Elliott Wave and stuff like that, but it usually does play out pretty good. It's just not my thing. And I think could you have 280 seems reasonable. I like his target over here. And I own AMD. I bought that last week. I was trying to be conservative, but I was trying to get into chips a little bit. I spent some money on NVIDIA and AMD. Currently sitting on about $100,000 in AMD and about $110,000 in NVIDIA. So I do own both of those. And then I bought some, I've got a small amount of Micron, just very tiny amount. Dumb sell-off, Model Y production stopped. Yes, dude. The Model Y production stopped in China and the United States. And inventories, not just for the Model Y, but everything else were basically disappearing because everybody was buying the shit out of them. JC Parrott said semiconductors are quietly making a new 6-week high today relative to the software stocks. This kind of inter-sector rotation back into semis is probably not bearish. I agree. So that's the AI chip side of things. Let's just go. I've got a few more here. Again, Department of Government Efficiency. Let's just jump through that. So United Healthcare just denied a claim. This is a doctor. Said, just denied a claim of one of my patients in the ICU with a brain hemorrhage, in a coma, on a ventilator, and in heart failure. Because I haven't proven to them that caring for her in the hospital was medically necessary. Tear this shit down. I don't condone murdering CEOs of companies in any way. Anyway, it's fucking disgusting, but this is also fucking disgusting. It's fucking disgusting to have somebody who's got a brain hemorrhage in a coma on a ventilator with heart failure, and they're like, we don't know if we're going to pay the claim. We don't know if it's necessary. Fuck you. Fuck you, United Healthcare. Elon Musk said, I have a good feeling about 2025 with little X sitting on him. Doge designer said 2025 will mark the end of bureaucracy in America. I agree with that. Elon Musk said, we live in a bureaucracy, not a democracy. That'll change on January 20th. Elon Musk said the tax code needs drastic simplification. If you look at what the tax code used to be, even in the 50s, and look at this, even in 1995, there were 40,500 pages of tax law. That's almost doubled. Joe Biden spending $2.5 billion in security assistance for Ukraine. They actually ended up doubling, or with that, it was $6 billion between Janet Yellen and Joe Biden, and yet North Carolina still looks like this. Elon Musk said this is the right position for those who want America to win, for those who want America to lose, for their own personal gain. I have zero respect for you. This is just talking about the H-1B visas. I 100% agree with all that. Bitcoin doing a little bit of a retrace, guys. Market starting to retrace a little bit and go down a little bit. Still not bad, though. Not a bad day. I want to thank people, too, for all the kind words. In case you don't know this, I shit on myself for 2024 because I am disappointed. I wanted more than 53%, but I leaned in heavily to the pain within the Bitcoin market, in Tesla and other things because, again, I dial into the pain. I don't dial out. So I ended the quarter pretty bad. 600% in 2023 was beautiful. 53% across 2024 was a failure, in my opinion. And so I'm very disappointed in myself. But you guys were fucking amazing. And again, I spelled out some of the reasons why I failed. 2025 calls for PayPal and ARKG were a mess. Owning Bitcoin miners past March was a mess. Getting excited about MSTR near the top was probably not professional either. But again, getting excited about it near the bottom, I think is a pretty good idea. And I think we're getting close to that if we haven't already hit it. Now, Yeah, and the things that I had really good for 2025 or 2024 were PayPal calls and then Tesla calls and Hood. Hood, I made 1,600% over 2 years. But I said I'm going to work a lot harder, and you guys were amazing. 1,800 likes, very much appreciated for your kindness. Very much appreciated. MicroStrategy, let's jump into that real quick. So again, retracing, we're back to 96.3. We're underneath that 50 moving average that we need to get above. So don't count out the downward moves yet, even though I think we're very, very close to the bottom. Shit could still happen. MicroStrategy, again, if we're looking at the fibs here, the way he's got it drawn, and I like the way he drew it, Mr. Casper. I like the way he drew it. This is a pretty good place to do it. And it shows that we had hit an area of support, key support on the fib level. I don't know. This kind of speaks for itself, but Michael Saylor's party was pretty lit. I think Samson Mao was having a little bit too much fun in the back row over here, though, buddy. You need to fix that. Nah, I'm giving him shit. I don't think he's married. He can do whatever he wants. But that party looks lit. I expect an invite next year. I'm going to work hard to get into Michael Saylor's graces. Tom Beckett, listen to Michael Saylor explain the importance of keeping promises. Guys, there are a few people I have absolute trust for. Satoshi Nakamoto, he's dead. I have trust for him. Elon Musk, I have trust for him. Michael Saylor is very much turning on that list for me. I believe him. I believe what he has to say. I think he's a real person, and I very much believe that he is working hard to ensure that he's providing value to the Bitcoin community and not blowing up MicroStrategy. I want you to listen to what he has to say about keeping promises.
Keep your promises, whatever they are. The one thing people remember about you for the rest of your life, if you promised them something 27 years later, they will still remember if you lied to them, or if you promised them something and you didn't do it. And the problem with that is that credibility over time compounds. And if you don't have credibility, people aren't going to want to help you. They're not going to help you. In fact, they're going to actually celebrate your failure. So don't make promises you can't keep, but bend heaven and earth to keep the promises you do make. And that, obviously in business, it's the difference between businesses succeeding and failing. And like when you get in the public markets, my stock trades every day from 9:30 to 4. If people felt like I was going to do something different than what I told them, hundreds of millions or billions of dollars of capital would disappear in a heartbeat when you lose credibility. So your ability to accomplish something in life is based on your credibility. So don't make promises you can't keep, and keep your promises.
100% agree with all of that. And I think
keep your promises.
That's this man.
Whatever they are.
Mark Harvey said, here's the door of people that wanted to buy MicroStrategy at 3.3x NAV. Here's the door of people that want to buy at 1.7. I'm at this door. I'm at the door on the right, even though I did buy too close to over here. I actually bought pretty heavy into the dip. To give myself some credit, I did buy heavy when the dip had already happened. But the problem was I was getting the MSTX and MSTU just being a fucking amateur. But again, it had already dipped hard. It was down to like here. And I bought into the dip. It might have even been over here after rolling over, and I bought into the dip and with MSTX or MSTU. And that was just not the right move. I shouldn't have been applying leverage at the time. Rookie fucking mistake. I regret it. Lost hundreds of thousands of dollars off that. Maybe 250 or 300,000. Just really stupid move. Really stupid move. But at least now, I'd rather apply leverage down here, right? That's what I was doing last week. That's a better number. So I got out of it. I got out of those MSTU and MSTXs when I realized they were just going to burn my account, and I had already started to. And then now I'm buying over here, and that's the appropriate place to start applying some leverage. The leverage is a small amount too. It's only like 65 grand right now with it popping today. Jesse, you called Tesla calls. That makes up for every wrong call. Thank you, my friend. I got Tesla calls. I got the 2026 PayPals, and I got Hood again. I made 1,600% off of Hood, and I got some others too, like Matterport. I doubled my money, and I did all right at other stuff. Again, it's just a little disappointing. But also, let's just keep going. So Saylor again bought this last Monday. He's just going to keep doing that. And if we look over here, guys, I said in here that if you can't handle a 35 to 50% drop in MicroStrategy in a bull market, that you shouldn't be invested in it. Because again, at the lower levels, it was 30 to 35% like through here. And then it was 50, and then it was like 45, and then it's like almost 50% right here too. So these are to be expected. This is what it does. These are the buy zones. These red lines give you a really clear indication of what the buy zones are. December total month mining rewards estimate for Mara, 860 to 865. Yeah, Mara's been doing great. We'll talk about that in a second too. That's coming up next. Yeah, so this K-Kim. So I shouldn't have even posted this. I'm gonna delete this. I'm gonna undo that. I'm gonna take that off. I wasn't paying attention to the fact that he was bearish. I actually liked the fact that we were pulling up against it because it lets us know we already did our fall. But he's talking about like going to MicroStrategy going to zero because he's an idiot. Adam Beck, I don't think so. Leverage is low. Some FUD in media about dilution, presumably seeded news to shake out retail, amplify MicroStrategy volatility for the convertible note buyers, etc. People scared of dilution for a company that does anti-dilutive BTC versus share buying as a business model. So what he's saying, Adam Beck is a original cryptography cypherpunk that worked with Satoshi Nakamoto. So if you want to look towards somebody to follow who knows what the fuck they're talking about, it's gonna be him. And I hate it when it does that. This thing refreshed and threw up my bookmarks. But he's 100% right that that the volatility is what the bondholders want. Okay, that's what they want, and it's a beautiful thing. It's magic. And I agree with him 100%. This is good. This is good for MicroStrategy. It's not bad for it. The volatility is where the money is. The volatility is vitality, and this is good for it. Kush said that hey, this is actually, if you look structurally, this is probably a good place to buy. And so, like, if you look over here, he's saying, hey, this is the support zones that we're seeing over here. Actually, this is before. This is old, but what he was talking about was here. He's saying, hey, I think structurally this is probably a decent support zone, and we could be seeing another wave B where we head up towards the 490 range, and I agree with him on that. I did a bunch of other posts. I'm going to roll through them real quick, guys. I had a bunch of stuff on here. Ben Workman, this is Michael Saylor reads Ben Workman article, Michael Saylor debt to equity ratio. Yeah, so he invited MicroStrategy. Michael Saylor liked Ben so much from his work that he was doing, getting people to understand his convertible bond strategy and what he's doing with debt in order to be able to acquire, that he invited him there. He was at the New Year's Bash. That's why I got to work harder. I got to get there too, because I appreciate what Michael Saylor's doing, and I want to be there next year. And again, these guys are willing to dilute their shares 31x to buy Bitcoin, and it's immediately accretive in Bitcoin terms, which is the only thing I fucking care about. So I think it's beautiful. There's so many good videos and things in here. I posted a lot of MSTR stuff. Where is all the stuff I posted? There we go. Yeah, okay. So I posted a bunch of this stuff, and I just want to talk to it real quick. So I said our boy Saylor realizes that there isn't a lot of time left to accumulate Bitcoin at these levels, which is why we see a massive ramp in Q4. After he found out Trump was winning, he knew that that was the writing on the wall, and I agree with it 100%. And he said MicroStrategy rides red sweep to 477% in gains. Again, this is just him taking a victory lap for that too. Also, this is just a couple of days ago, guys. Nothing compares to MicroStrategy's growth since 2020, even with the recent drop. So you got NVIDIA in here at 1,148%. You still got MicroStrategy at over 2,100%. You got Bitcoin at 724. You got Tesla at 351. You got Alphabet. Just nothing compares. Nothing compares to you. Sorry. Let me see. I got some more here. I had a whole series of these charts, but MicroStrategy has a lot of room to grow, and Saylor knows it, even if Jason does not. And so, again, just showing that this company is actually really, really small. Do you plan on holding MSTR through the bear? Probably not. Probably not, but that's only after making shit tons of money. So again, I said once a FASB accounting rules kick in for MicroStrategy for Q1, their EPS is going to look a lot more attractive to investors. And this will translate, guys. Somebody asked a question about whether or not this would transfer or translate over into like financial people being interested and being excited about it. I don't know where the post was, but I included a Grok article that explained it. So yeah, it's all bullish. It's all bullish. I don't know. I had more. Oh, there we go. There we go. I had another one here. Your average corporate bond yields gave around 4.5% in yearly returns. Can you see why the bond market wants MicroStrategies? 89.3%. New chart EPS tracker. Again, this is where I got this from. It's SailorsCharts.com, and it's just their new tracking information for microsailor stock. Highly recommended. And then I also showed the convertible bond debt offerings so people would understand some of this stuff. Karaoke stream? Probably not. I'm a horrible singer. But it says, turns out that all the MicroStrategy's debt and convertible bonds that are due, and some of these have strike prices associated with them. Like if they get up to 600 and something, some of these can be turned in early. But I'm ignoring that, right? Because everybody's got the fear. Being at 640 something sounds pretty fucking good right now at $302 a MicroStrategy. So I'm just going to ignore that. But outside of that, unless we hit crazy high prices, the converts don't kick in. There's 4 years. Basically, the next peak of the next Bitcoin cycle, there's only $2 billion that comes due outside of them hitting targets and then having some of that come due, which they'll probably roll. Honestly, or again, they'll just dilute, whatever. It doesn't fucking matter. They'll probably just get share issuance and they'll dilute. It doesn't fucking matter, guys. Does not fucking matter. Success is not failure. Success is not failure. And what I said in here is that at today's terms, it's actually higher now. Maybe it's 43 or 44 billion now. But basically, that's how much they have in Bitcoin, and they've got $2 billion in convertible bond debt offerings that are going to be coming due over the next 4 years. So people are retarded. They're just fucking stupid. They don't pay attention to shit. All right, I think that's it for MicroStrategy. I do want to jump over, and then I'm probably going to end after this, guys, because it's already 9:30. Shit, I'll probably save Mara for tomorrow. It's already 9:30. I'm going to bail. We're 2.5 hours in, guys. James, Invest Answer started buying AI agent crypto coins. Yeah, that's cool. I think AI is probably one of the next big booms. I'm not really paying attention to it so much because again, my stuff's locked in. I'm holding on for that, I'm holding on for the long-term capital gains at 15%. So I don't care too much. But again, so today was a good day, guys, across markets, just summarizing. It looks like Tesla's getting hit a little bit. I might buy some more long leaps on that, or maybe I'll wait till tomorrow and buy some more. The dollar is still strengthening. Today it's at 109. It just shot up even more, guys. So that's pulling down markets. We had great manufacturing data. We had great jobs data. So even though the dollar is strengthening, I've already showed you guys that that's most likely, if it's anything like Trump's last term, it's going to be coming down after he takes the presidency. So I'm not worried about it. I think we're hitting our dip buying points. So if you guys haven't purchased, I think now is a good time to do it. And I'm excited about what's happening. That's why we're going to play this video as my outro today. We're going to go back to Trump and American exceptionalism, and we're going to leave with that. Peace out, guys. I love you very much. I hope you have a great day. I hope the rest of your week is fucking wonderful. I'll see you guys tomorrow morning, bright and early, okay? Peace out, guys. Bye.
I got love for every nation. I got love for all races. I got love for all religions. Got love for so many places. No love for a politician, a congressman, or a senator. If the country that they put in first ain't the United States of America. No love for these politicians with corporate interests in other countries. Only one that I serve is God. I don't serve man, I don't serve money. No love for the people living in the USA, but always hating it. Got a lot I probably shouldn't say to y'all. Matter of fact, I'll just pray on it. I'm pro-life, pro-God, pro-gun, not ashamed of it. Yo, worshiping bullets, yo, killing babies, mutilated children, y'all are Satanists. Supporting the troops in their tour doesn't mean that you're supporting the war. Supporting the freedoms that they fighting for doesn't mean that you're supporting the gore. Supporting the country I live in and loving it doesn't mean blindly supporting the government. The world that we live in is trouble. They turn off the media, we should defund it. Supporting America for other nations does not make me a racist. If you like communism so much, I'll pay for your vacation. America first, the people are hurt. Got vets in the street with nothing to eat and nowhere to work. Sending our dollars overseas and funding these wars. No love for these politicians if they're not America first. America first. This countries protect their borders. It's not a controversial subject. I say cause the southern border, it seems to get people upset. I don't care what names you call me. We in $40 trillion of debt. Uncle Sam takes half your money, then you get a low refund check. I am America first. Kamala cares a better purse. I never sell out the people to raise my net worth. The Second Amendment is there to always protect my first. I'm a better rapper than Meg Thee Stallion, and I don't even have to curse. Let's keep the American dream alive and put an end to all the lies. BLM raised billions, and what did they do for black lives? Politicians promise you the whole world, then they backslide. What happened to Hunter's laptop? You know I'm most strapped up. Gun rights are human rights. Feminists been sold a lie. You can mess around and find out. Play stupid games, win a stupid prize. God bless the whole USA, even the ones who hate me. Still fighting for you today, and no globalist hate me. America first, the people are hurt. Got vets in the street with nothing to eat and nowhere to work. Sending our dollars overseas and funding these wars. No love for these politicians if they're not America first.
All right, guys. Peace out. See you tomorrow.